Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon with Geeky Sparkles and
Hello?
Aaron Sparrow, and I'm gonna shut the Discord down so it's not
Okay.
incessantly beeping.
Say hello, Aaron, so everybody hears you.
Can everybody hear me this time? Hello.
Can everybody hear Aaron? We had to stop the live stream before because nobody could hear Aaron.
So hopefully everybody can hear him. So, but no one's saying.
Okay, well, there's like a 15-second delay here, so let's just wait. We're waiting. If everybody can hear Aaron, say hello. Yeah. Oh, thank God. Okay, we can finally get this shit started. Okay, so Clownfish TV, I'm going to do a recap here. We're going to talk about She-Ra and the hype train. Toot Toot is leaving the station. But before that, we brought Aaron in. We're going to talk a little bit about the Mark Waid lawsuit, which is basically the mainstream comic book industry versus Comicsgate. I mean, it really is what this has turned into, and a circus, a total circus. Mark Waid, since we did our video yesterday, actually issued a statement last night.
I saw this coming. I did.
Geeky totally called it. Mark has issued a statement, sort of defending himself again in this GoFundMe. I will read this statement, and then anyone who would like to comment on this statement, feel free to jump in and comment on the statement posted by Mark Waid 20 hours ago. Some of you may be surprised at the amount of harassment and Mark Waid non-fanfiction being posted in the GoFundMe comments section. I'm reasonably sure that most GFMs don't attract trolls. That would be GoFundMes, right? I hope it's GoFundMes, not like get effed something. Here's a short list of things I've learned about myself by reading comments. Apparently, I'm a millionaire. Evidently, I was once in business with an African-American woman. I'm surprised to learn that I made some phone calls to some unnamed university in Scotland and got a woman thrown out 3 weeks before graduation and drove her unnamed husband to 3 suicide attempts. And it turns out I had a wife, so screw all of you for not sending me a wedding gift. There's so much more. I'm tempted to publish it as an anthology stretch goal. I've deleted exactly one ugly comment aimed at others. The rest I'm leaving untouched, so you can see for yourself the sort of hate and harassment I'm having to lawyer up against, and I'm a straight white man. This is nothing compared to what women, people of color, and the LGBTQ plus community receive every day from Comicsgate's representatives. Think about that. Read their comments. Pay attention to the language. It's important to see for yourselves how these people react and what fiction they'll throw at you when you take a stand against their bigotry and for inclusivity. When you object to black writers being called race hustlers whose writing is a minstrel show, when you call people out for comparing transgender people to dog-faced boys at the Carnival Freak Show, when you object to women in any industry being accused of being hired because of boobs and unqualified as a gender, I'm fighting a lawsuit that I strongly believe is designed to silence anyone who speaks out against that sort of prejudice.
Silence anyone who I don't agree with.
I'm fighting back. Please donate and please keep sharing. Let's send a clear message that online harassment is unacceptable. Thank you. Except, Mark, you're the one who started this.
Excuse me, I have a question.
Yes.
If Mark Waid is being harassed as a heterosexual white male, does that not put the lie to his statement that Comicsgate is a movement that is designed to attack only people of color, women, minorities, the marginalized communities? It seems like they have plenty of criticisms of white males in the industry as well.
Yeah.
It seems like, I mean, it would just seem to me from his statement that it seems more like it's, you know, perhaps a certain political leaning or certain behaviors that they object to. I'm just spitballing here, just
I know, right?
Based on the logic of what he's saying.
No, don't overthink this. Don't overthink this. Feel it. Feel it.
I mean, okay, why does love too how it's like if you don't like the way that people of color or women or LGBTQ people are being treated, I'm like, but the Comicsgate side, I know for a fact, 'cause I've talked to a lot of them, have women, have people of color, and have LGBTQ people in it. So I'm just saying.
Yeah, but they're never mentioned.
I know.
They're sort of like
the She-Ra argument.
Yeah, you never hear about. Like, it's so funny. Like, I've seen so many people, even like in our own Discord and in talking to people on Twitter who side with Comicsgate, who are not straight white men. But that's actually worse because they're just like the invisible people. They don't count at all.
So it's a double slap. It's a double
is.
slap,
It's like,
you know. So anyway, what else are you gonna say about this besides that? I knew when I saw the comments he was gonna scream harassment, and some of them actually were kind of harassing, but he makes it so easy.
It's the internet. It's the internet.
I know.
And again, he's a heterosexual white male. So if they're harassing him, they're harassing a heterosexual white male.
That's right.
Which then says that it's a pretty egalitarian. You know, if they are a harassment movement, they're a pretty egalitarian one.
Yeah, I mean,
I've actually, I mean, come to, you know, I mean, from what I've seen, you know, it seems like a lot of heterosexual white men do come under fire, because it seems like, you know, behavior is being called out.
But they're always blaming straight white guys as the problem for Star Wars, for She-Ra, for everything. They're blaming that. But he doesn't like it when people give it back to him. So...
Well, this straight white guy is here to fix everything. He's here to fix everything. For only $75,000, Mark will fix Comicsgate for everybody.
For only $100 a month. You can support Mark Waid.
I just look
in his fight.
Yeah.
You know, here's my take on this. Again, like I just want to restate, we have had you know, we've dealt with Mark off and on throughout the years. We have limited contact with him.
I've worked with Mark. So
oh yeah, I know. You're more than welcome. I mean, if you want to plead the fifth on this, Aaron, you're more than welcome to, or speak your mind. But I'm just saying, just for us, again, I want to restate that we have never had a negative interaction with Mark Waid.
Not personally.
So I have nothing personal against Mark Waid, but I do take issue with the fact that he's making this out like he was just, you know, minding his own business.
Like puppy dog guys, please support me in my
you know,
fight.
And
bigotry and hate that I'm stirring up myself.
But he was out there constantly bragging about how he was going to take down diversity in comics. He was going to, you know, give him a talking to. He was going to do this. He was going to do that.
Give him a spanking.
He was going to give him a shellacking. That's what they call it, a shellacking. Here in the Rust Belt, they call it a shellac, and take him out to the woodshed. And bragging about this on social media, and now he's just like, golly gee, I was just minding my own business, and I got slapped with a lawsuit. I don't understand.
The irony is, if he had just contacted Antarctic Press and said, hey, I don't think you guys know who you're getting into business with, and didn't have to first preface that he was going to do it, right, then say that he did it, then afterwards brag that it was canceled, he would not be facing this lawsuit. It's the very nature of him having to go out and be self-aggrandizing about how virtuous and noble he is in his fight for, you know, women and people of color and you know, trans and that got him into trouble. It's, if you do charity work quietly.
Right.
You know, if you're out demanding that everybody recognize how virtuous you are, that's your reward right there.
Yeah, exactly.
And, you know, and this is the problem that he's run into. And you know, I can tell stories about working with Mark. I can tell some, you know, it's very reasonable. I can tell some very nice stories about the very good parts of his character, and I can confirm that he has an out of control temper as well. You know, I don't think that, and maybe this will be unpopular, but I don't think that Mark is a monster. I think Mark is a very complicated and very unhappy a lot of the time human being, and I feel for him, because there are parts of Mark that are fantastic. I have seen him do wonderful things, but I don't agree with what he's done here. I don't think he had any, as much as he hates Richard C. Meyer. And as much as I personally can say that I don't agree with everything that Richard Meyer has had to say, I would tell him, if he was in the chat right now, I'd be like, yeah, dude, you said some stuff that I would.
That's what I said too.
That I would have recommended. You know, I would have recommended against. And let's be honest, everybody talks shit.
Yeah.
Mark has talked shit behind closed doors. I've heard it. You know, everybody talks shit. I've talked shit. We all talk out of turn. But when you get right down to it, he still didn't have the right, no matter how much he didn't like Richard Meyer, no matter how much he disagreed with what he had to say, he didn't have the right to get in between Meyer and this company that was going to publish his book. You know, he could have called for a boycott. He could have, you know, all of that would have been perfectly fine. Say, like, I'm not going to support this book, and I hope you don't too. And his fans would have responded, and they would have, you know, not bought the book, or they would have, you know, boycotted Antarctic, or whatever it is that he wanted done. But the fact that he inserted himself in between is the problem. And none of that is mentioned in his GoFundMe because it doesn't paint the picture that he wants to paint.
No.
He doesn't paint the looking off in the distance with a Superman hat like,
I'm the hero.
For
I'm the hero.
$100 a month, you can save me, help me save them.
That photo was used. I mean, that's a really old photo. That photo was used back when I was at Boom and like 2009. That was like the publicity still. So I don't know. I think I don't think he looks exactly like that anymore.
Yeah, that seems to be a case for like everybody. But yeah, I'm just like, that's what gets me too. Like, you don't have to like diversity in comics. You don't have to like Zach personally. You don't have to like what he has to say, but that does not give you the right to tank his publishing deal.
No.
Now if Mark Waid was part owner of Antarctic and he's like, hey, I don't want this guy, published under my banner, then he would have the right to say it. But he had nothing in this other than just to be malicious and vindictive.
But in general, I don't think it's right to keep people out of comics. No. Try to keep people out of comics just because you disagree with them. Because there's a lot of people I disagree with, a lot of people, and they still have comic book deals, and I don't go around trying to stop them. So,
Yeah, and that's that. This is what's really concerning for me as and myself and Geeky, having been in and around comics as long as we have, and kind of been privy to, like Aaron, with the behind the scenes workings of the comic book industry. We know that the comic book industry, is I guess a bit incestuous. There are some gatekeepers in comics.
It's full
but this takes it to a whole nother level. This is basically like it's almost like the comic book industry can keep people out to a level we've never seen before. Like, no, you can't even go to some.
You can't even self-publish your own book.
No, you can't self-publish your own book.
Trying to piss on.
Yeah, now they're like, you've got people going out to Indiegogo trying to get campaigns pulled off of Indiegogo. You've got people on Kickstarter trying to get campaigns. So you can't even then you go out to a publisher, and if they don't like you, they try to ruin that relationship. They try to ruin the distribution job. Like it's just insanity. It's insanity.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, some people in the chat are asking me. They're saying like, okay, you said you've talked shit, but have you ever, destroyed, punched holes in walls and destroyed property and no, I've never. If you're asking me if I approve of the type of behavior that is being exhibited by a lot of professionals, the answer is no. And if you follow me on Twitter, you definitely know that, and that has gotten me in trouble. That has gotten me in quite a bit of trouble, and has probably cost me work in the industry, because I advocate for professionalism and I advocate for treating customers with dignity and with respect. And if you come at me on Twitter and you tell me my work sucks, I don't take it personally. I will tell you, I'm sorry you didn't enjoy it. I hope that in the future, you give me another shot, and, please tell me what you didn't like about it so I can just kind of like internalize that and maybe do better. You may not like it. You probably won't be able to convince me that I don't like it, but, I will take your comments under advisement, because that's what being professional is.
Right.
And I feel like so many of these pros have had so much, if you'll excuse the phrase, smoke blown up their ass for so long.
Yeah.
That they just think that they are, they're this amazing, gift to all of you. And the fact of the matter is, you're the ones who pay for these items. You're the one who pay for these books. You're the ones who keep these people working. You are the most valuable commodity in this industry. There's always another writer willing to come along and take my place. Mm-hmm. There's always another writer willing to come and take Mark Waid's place. People that are better, people who will do better work. They exist.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, go ahead, Aaron. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. So it's just it's the customer, that is the biggest contribution to the industry, and these people have forgotten that. If you're not satisfied, if you're not buying books, if we're not pleasing you with our work and with the way that we respond to you, that is going to affect sales, and it is affecting sales. I'm at a toy show. I'm at a toy and comic show twice a week, and I am talking to comic buyers all the time that are walking away, from the industry, and they're just like, I don't feel served by the stories. I don't think the stories are interesting. I don't think they're good. Even though I agree with some of these people politically, I don't like being preached to. I don't want to pay $5 to get a political manifesto instead of an escapist story. And then when I go on Twitter and I say that, I'm called a Nazi or a bigot, or and these are people of color. These are women. These are gay and lesbian readers. It's ridiculous, and I just wanted to say that I absolutely do not support the behavior of these pros, and especially the vulgarity with which some of them attack the fan base.
Yeah, it's really great. I mean, just in the last couple of years, it's escalated to this whole nother. Like there always has been arrogance, but
there's always been arrogance.
But not like this.
I just think what gets me though is too these people keep popping up saying they're fighting for women, they're fighting for people of color, they're fighting for LGBTQ people, and it's like, but by them saying that, I don't know, it just isn't like a double smack to me, because there's a lot of people who are those things, that are complaining to you and saying, hey, you're not listening to us, so we're going to not listen to you twice and then use you to promote ourselves as we not listen to you. And it was She-Ra. Oh my God, it just pisses me off so bad. I can't even tell you. It's just like that. You're actually being more insulting to me. So stop. So anyway.
Yeah, no, and that's what gets us, since we really started the channel too, is we're finding like the majority of our audience, I mean, a very, very diverse audience,
which is good.
Yeah, I mean, it's fantastic, and it is sort of a slap in the face to all the people of color and the gay folks who are not even being counted.
Right.
I mean, it's like, oh, it's just a bunch of whiny.
They always blame it on straight
white men, and like, I mean, that's even worse than like you don't exist at all. You're invisible.
That's what I'm saying. It's
invisible.
Like a double slap. It's a double slap. But anyway, are we going to talk about She-Ra now or what?
Yeah.
Come on, we're going to talk about She-Ra. Okay.
I know we want to talk about fun things like She-Ra. But anyway,
yeah,
Mark Waid. I can't. And like, I'm with Aaron. Like, I don't think I do think there's some good there, but this is not a good look. The optics are really, really bad. I mean, if it, armchair observation, it looks really bad. And
it does. I mean, I'm just looking at it, and every time he opens his mouth, he just gives them more things they can use in court. And I'm like, I would just stay quiet.
His lawyer needs to fire his lawyer. His lawyer's doing more damage, I think, than
I'm not a lawyer, but
yeah, but he's trash talking people on Twitter. Like, aren't you supposed to be like lawyering? Aren't you supposed to be out there like reading the law books and doing your lawyer thing? I mean, what is he paying you for? To go bait people on Twitter? I mean, God.
Well, maybe he's billing Mark for all the time he spends on Twitter.
I'm assuming he is.
I spent 2 hours today. Tweeting at Comicsgate, people. So that's $1,500. $1,500 you owe me.
Yeah, it's so ridiculous. Okay, so speaking of ridiculous, so that's the situation with Mark.
Yeah, let's talk about stuff that's fun, like She-Ra.
Good stuff.
So
She-Ra.
Yeah, let's talk about stuff that's gonna make Geeky happy, like She-Ra.
Yeah. Now look how boyish that picture is. Yeah. Look at that, that's like a dude. Sorry.
Okay, so we got a couple of articles that popped up our last 48 hours. The hype train is starting toot for She-Ra and the princesses.
For Noelle Stevenson.
Noelle
Stevenson. A little bit of She-Ra.
For She-Ra and the Princesses of Power, the highly anticipated reboot of the classic Masters of the Universe spinoff. Everybody's so excited about this show.
It looks like a boy right there. I'm sorry.
It's Johnny Quest, man.
It looks like Johnny Quest. It does.
It's Johnny Quest.
Take that hair that's slapped on behind, because that's not how hair actually goes, and then it's like a boy. Completely.
So we're going to look, and of course, the way these things work, and I'm sure Aaron's privy to this as well, there are PR firms out there who have a schedule, and they drop stories to certain publications at a certain time to get the results that they want. It is November. She-Ra is coming soonish. It's coming in like 2 weeks. So they're starting to bam, 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 hit the friendly media with different aspects of She-Ra. Oh, DCV Titan, thank you. Is this the new Thor? Yeah, this is like Thor, the young Thor from that Young Avengers cartoon.
Oh my gosh, it does look like.
Doesn't it?
Look like Young Event, yes.
It does. It totally looks like him. Like, just take the skirt away, and just seriously, if you took the little skirt,
Izzy's right. Their designs are better. I've seen them.
Okay, so this is coming from the New York Times, right? The New York Times, reputable newspaper. Warrior princesses, spaceships, cool boots.
Cool boots.
She-Ra is back, and the first thing they say about She-Ra.
Oh, I'm so pissed. I didn't even see all this article. I just saw the beginning.
Okay, we're gonna go.
I can't handle titles like this anymore on articles. I can't handle it.
Like, oh my god.
I'm so sick of this, and I'm so sick of any article that starts with, "We need to talk about." No, be a journalist.
Yeah. Can I do the voice?
Okay, so the first thing they say, you're reading the article, like, oh, cool, She-Ra's coming back.
Can I do it?
Yeah.
Oh, let me read this part?
No, I want you to read the caption.
She-Ra and the Princesses of Power, reboot of the campy 1980s cartoon, aims to go beyond the cheap-looking frivolity of the original.
So we start...
Kiss my ass!
Oh my God, they start the article off with a slap. They freaking do this all the time. They backhand slap the original.
Well, I want to go on record too saying these articles is funny. Where they're being posted, they're clearly going for the audience that is not the audience that Netflix has said is the target audience.
It's Steven Universe. It's Steven. Yeah, the first thing they do is they give a backhand slap. The New York Times bitch slaps She-Ra.
The original.
She-Ra.
Because it's not as awesome as Noelle Stevenson. Like, ready? Okay.
Oh my God.
In many ways, She-Ra and the Princesses of Power, a new Netflix series from DreamWorks Animation, will be familiar to fans of the campy, yeah, I'm sure he knows all about campy, original. Adora is here, discovering the magic sword that transforms her into She-Ra when she invokes the honor of Grayskull. I'm sorry, the honor of Grayskull! And so is Catra, her feline friend, and on-again, off-again foe. There are rainbow-colored flying unicorns and villains with giant red claws for hands. Well, yeah. Not to mention cool spaceships and battles royale. Did you see the original? Did you fucking see the original?
Who is this article written for?
Not the kids that they keep claiming is a demographic. And then it's all about Noelle Stevenson, too. But the reboot from Noelle Stevenson, who has received critical acclaim for imaginative girl-centric graphic novels, has more than cheap-looking frivolity in its mind. Well, let's talk about this critical acclaim.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, no, here it comes.
So,
I need a drink. I'm getting this drink over here. You just
we had some books, and they didn't sell. Just saying. And then she was on, like, other books that she was part of a team. It wasn't, like, her own thing. Lumberjanes was a group effort. And then she was part of a writing team on a couple shows, like Wandered, or where was it? DuckTales, and
she did like an episode or two of DuckTales, and she'd wander over yonder. Yeah. Next thing you know, she's running.
And now she's critically acclaimed, and she's so much better because she's all about things that aren't frivolity.
Yes, but this next bit really gets me.
She was showrunner. She was showrunner on a couple.
No, she was a writer. She wrote like a handful of episodes of Wander Over Yonder, and she wrote like 1 or 2 episodes of DuckTales, or co-wrote. I think she
was on teams, and then she was like, and then the Lumberjanes, she was on teams too. And then the other thing she did was her own Nimona, and it didn't sell that well. So anyway, back to this. But she's gonna take it. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, we gotta jump in here. DCV Titan. Another thing I noticed: the hair's got to be dusting the world. Or is length even variable? I think it. Yeah,
it seems to be
variable length. It's sort of like one of those dolls where you like crank the arm and the hair grows, like Lady Lovely Locks.
Yeah.
Except this is like laddie lovely locks.
That doesn't. I mean, the changing hair doesn't really bother me because that's dramatic license. What bothers me is the fact that I can't get over, like, not even her hair on top of her head looks like it's buzzed.
Yes.
Like it's a buzz cut.
Yes, that's exactly what it looks like.
And it's really distracting for me.
With a part.
If they just put a couple of lines on it, so that it just looked like it was pulled back, I think it would work a lot.
I think
a lot better.
The is not too good.
All right, so
this is what irked me.
In place of the often static animation of the original, because it sucked. The original sucked. The rebooted She-Ra lives in a vibrant world with stylistic homages to French artist. I don't know how to say his name.
Moebius. He's one of the greatest comic artists of all time.
And Japanese director Miyazaki.
They're comparing this shit to Miyazaki and Moebius. Let this sink in. Let this sink in for a little bit. The New York fucking Times is comparing Netflix She-Ra to fucking Moebius and fucking Miyazaki. Please continue.
You guys are mad.
I am like beyond. Like, do you know of which you speak? Clearly not.
Yeah, that's made him
Clearly not.
Oh my God, she does look like Hank Venture. It's Hank Venture's hair.
Yes. And the series tackles some pretty heavy topics like colonialism, genocide, and isolationism.
Sweet.
Yes, because let me remind you, the target audience for this show.
Kids love colonialism and genocide.
The target audience are children ages like 5 through 12.
Oh my God.
Oh, this reminds me of the Flintstone comic that came out last year, and how I could not stop laughing at just the line. There's a line where Fred says, "Bonnie, we participated in a genocide." And I could not stop laughing.
Was that like could you imagine as like a freaking Fruity Pebbles commercial? Give me back my pebbles, or I'm gonna commit genocide,
Okay.
Barney.
I'm sorry. And isolationism while aiming to maintain the buoyancy.
The buoyancy of
its inspiration.
You mean
what does that
you mean
even
the static, cheap-looking, campy original that you hate so much that you have to take a shit on?
Wait. Ready? I love the original. Steven 26 said, who admitted she didn't watch until after she did this.
Yeah, that's true.
But we wanted to take what was fun about it and deepen it and flesh it out with things like genocide.
Colonialism.
Look, and then here's their wall of fan art. That I've seen more fan art for the original She-Ra. But anyway, keep going.
I love how they have to make sure. Like, I'm not busting. I'm kind of busting on the wall, Stevenson. But seriously, every freaking piece of promotion you see for She-Ra, make sure they shoehorn a giant picture of Noelle Stevenson.
I know, that's what I'm mad about. I'm mad about that because it's not about her. It's about the show.
It's not supposed to be.
Okay.
Well, it's a cute picture.
But I'm just saying. The original series, which ran for 2 seasons, just 2 seasons, was probably best known for its ties to the popular Mattel line of action figures.
Ew, toys.
Yeah, and boy toys.
Well,
but
because
Stevenson,
it was a show that could support a line of action figures.
Yeah, because back then they did. But Stevenson, a graphic novelist and artist who's Nimona, about a mischievous shape-shifting girl who can belch fire and turn into a triceratops, was nominated for National Book Award. Okay, what's that have to do with price of gas? Okay, so the cartoon offered possibilities.
Wait, they offered that as a butt. How is that a rebuttal?
I know, it's what I'm saying.
To the fact that the original series selling a line of action figures.
I know,
it's
right?
But she has a National Book Award.
So
unlike
what?
the cheap-looking campy cartoon, she's
I don't even have an issue like this. At this point, I don't even have an issue with Noelle Stevenson. I have an issue with the person who wrote this article. This is pure just PR fluff.
Yeah,
they just took a couple of quotes from her and they tried to whip it up into something. And I don't understand the strategy of continuing to I haven't seen her come out and say anything really like the original show. She's been
kind of honestly, even in New York, she actually was pretty I'm
no, what the girl did the voice of She-Ra tried to say, she's the creator, and she even said, no, I didn't.
She actually did. She actually said,
I will give her points for that.
I will give her points.
I'm getting so sick and tired of everything having to be about her, and I'm not saying it's necessarily her fault, but there's something going on here.
This comes back to the thumbnail, which is right out of the High Guardian Spice playbook. This is where you push the showrunners or the creators or the
we mentioned diversity,
yes,
and genocide
over the actual show.
Well, do you think that this is the Ghostbusters 2016 strategy of we don't have confidence in the final product, so we need to, all of our PR needs to focus on the fact that it is created by an LGBT creator, and therefore we have the out of anybody who doesn't like it, we get to say that they're,
yes,
homophobic.
I think that's the go-to anymore for anything.
I think it's the go-to for anything. I do, to your point, Aaron, I have to agree that I don't know how much confidence Netflix even has in the show, because we were watching yesterday, we're on Netflix to watch Daredevil, and they had a trailer up for what's coming in November, and they had a lot of their new series on there, and they gave them, lots of breathing room in this huge trailer, and they had She-Ra in there for about 10 seconds.
It wasn't even that long.
Sandwiched in between some other stuff. Oh, by the way, She-Ra's coming too. Did we mention all these other shows that we've got, in coming in November? You'd think something like She-Ra, a reboot of a beloved franchise, would be a bigger. They pushed really hard with Voltron. Netflix really pushed it.
I'm sorry, I'm still reading ahead on this.
Oh,
crap.
okay.
I don't understand why they didn't just give Noelle her own show then. Just create something from the ground up.
They don't do that anymore.
Well, they do for some people. Some people do.
Why would you reboot She-Ra if you're going to shit on the original and piss off all the original fans of She-Ra?
That is the question.
The whole point of getting a recognized property is that you want to have a built-in fan base. Yeah. I would think.
No, Aaron.
You want
that
it
makes too much
until
sense.
they complain,
Stop
and then it's not for you.
Stop
it's not for you.
Okay, so please continue, Geeky.
On a recent afternoon, Stevenson was in her office here at DreamWorks, explaining how she has adapted a story about a sword-wielding teen heroine and her group of super-powered pals for 2018. In the original, every heroine was the exact same size and shape, with matching faces and swimsuit model bodies, which made it easier for the animators, not to mention the folks who made the toys, which is the point, which were really what the original show was all about. Yeah.
Yeah, you want to reuse parts as much as possible.
They all had big 80s hair, unlike Steven Universe characters who don't have big hair at all, and nearly all of them were white. The Toss LA edition of the show was a notable exception. Go ahead.
Most of the country was white.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. They did it.
I mean, not everybody. I mean, like, obviously they're, you know, wait. I'm trying to think. So Natasha was black.
Yeah.
I guess maybe that was.
She was the only. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, He-Man too. I mean, they only had. They only had
Clamp Champ, right?
Yeah. I think he came out the same year. I think that was the year they're like.
Which I'm not opposed to making different ethnicities. What I'm
no, not at all. But you don't have to, you know.
They go too far on these.
Rework existing characters.
They're taking characters and making everyone diverse. I mean that's
a fair. I mean, the ethnicities is a fair.
It is a fair. That's a fair criticism.
Mm-hmm.
One of the first things he wanted to do was make the characters different sizes, shapes, and ethnicities. Stevenson said.
Does that hurt your tongue?
I'm just trying his voice. It doesn't work with words like ethnicities. In the new, now I lost my voice. In the new series, which debuts the November 13th. There are black warriors, Asian ice princesses, and brown mermaids. Okay.
Brown mermaids.
Body types run from waist slim to roundish. Hairstyles include Rapunzel long tresses, bobs, and I don't know what the heck that fades. The voice cast, which includes, and then they go blah 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 voice cast. Go down.
Blah 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 voice cast. Yes. Wait. Okay. Here, I just love these captions. Can I read the captions?
Go ahead.
When Stevenson and her colleagues replaced She-Ra's original skimpy costume with a more modest attire, a vocal group of online fanboys complained that she was not sexy enough.
Excuse me, I gotta check and make sure I have a dick. Oh, I don't. And I'm one of the ones complaining the most. So
yeah, a lot of women complained.
Yeah, we don't count. This is what I'm talking about. We don't count. Then the girl that does the voice of She-Ra was born in the Dominican Republic and grew up in Miami. In a predominantly Latino neighborhood, is the voice of the show's very Nordic-looking lead. So I've never been a blonde, she said, but I get to be as blonde as She-Ra.
No.
Hantara was purple.
You're not allowed to play anything outside of your race. Haven't you heard?
Yeah.
You cannot play a white person if you're not white.
No, you can. You just can't play other, if you're not white.
Well, I'm just saying.
No, if you're white, you can't play another ethnicity.
But
if you're another ethnicity, you can play.
Oh, is that how that
works? That's how it
okay.
works.
Because I'm just like, I'll never be blonde, but I get to be blonde as she. No. Cancel the show now.
DreamWorks acquired the race of She-Ra in 2012, along with more than 450 other classic media properties like Casper, Lassie, and Voltron.
Casper,
I'm sure they're going to ruin Casper, Lassie.
Casper, Lassie, and Voltron. That's quite the. I want a show with all of them on.
Not long after, Beth Cannon, a DreamWorks development executive and the Mona fan, reached out to Stevenson. Now wait,
this is not the story that we heard.
Oh wait, it's not the same story about how the book things were done either. So reached out to Stevenson about developing a story pitch. Okay, so that's not, I thought she approached them with a pitch, is what she was saying in other articles. So this is there's a lot that Stevenson liked about the Filmation original, including its action figure tie-ins. But she said at the convention she didn't actually even watch it until after she started working on it.
She was playing with the toys, I guess.
Right, but she said she liked the original Filmation. But she admitted she didn't watch it.
But I love how they have to make sure they always get the backhand slap. Even so, she acknowledges artistic limitations from choppy, often sparse movement.
It's choppy in the new one.
Stock footage. The animation was limited.
Have
you seen the transformation sequence in this show?
I know it's for everything they're complaining about. It's just as bad.
Yeah, this isn't beautiful. This is not a beautiful and fluid-looking show from what the trailer has shown.
It's not.
God,
okay, you go ahead. Okay, you can read this part. Calm yourself.
Oh my God! For the reboot, the animation team created vivid backgrounds and sci-fi landscapes reminiscent of Moebius and Roger Dean.
Well, the backgrounds were actually nice.
Actually, the backgrounds are nice. But you know what? You don't invoke the name of Moebius, Roger Dean, and Miyazaki in conjunction with this show.
No.
It's just not on the same level. I'm sorry. It's not even on the same level.
I wish this show were an anime show. That would be amazing.
Badass.
An anime show would be so awesome.
That would be what people want, actually.
But like, there's the eco-friendly ethos of Miyazaki and stylistic nods to contemporary anime. Adora's eyes become giant and shimmering when she sees a horse for the first time. Oh God, like Dibble.
Wait, like Dibble. You know what? It's so bullshit campy in the 80s. We're not going to be campy, but we're going to give her giant shimmer eyes when she sees a horse for the first time.
It's going to be
That's going to go so, and she's going to have the waterfall tears when she sees the genocide and the colonialism.
I'm sure. Okay.
That's really going to underscore the serious nature of those issues for the children that this is for.
The children, that's right. It's for the children, people. Just remember, it's for the children. It's not for us. It's for children. The artist imagines She-Ra as a slim fit teen with white bike shorts and a high collar top.
Why does she have to be fit? Why does she have to be blonde?
Yeah. Well,
why does she have to wear boots?
I don't know. Well, that's a good question because apparently you're not allowed. It's body shape otherwise.
Okay. They
replaced her high heels with boots. Granted, the ones with stylish white, blue, and gold colorway. What? The one thing we spent time on was She-Ra's boots.
The one and only thing we spent any time on, damn it, was She-Ra's boots. We had to get those boots.
We had so many creative meetings about her boots. And then we just banged out the story in about 20 minutes.
Even so, the new look drew the ire of a small but vocal group of online fanboys.
Fanboys?
I got boobs. Who slammed the new She-Ra for not being sexy enough. I slammed the new She-Ra because she looked like She-Ra. Oh, and then let's look at this picture here. Look at the glorious animation.
Miyazaki, Moebius, eat your heart out.
Look right here.
Amateur bitches compared to this majesty. Look at this.
Look what he did.
Oh my God, that's Seahawk. It's Freddie Mercury. That's not Seahawk.
The floors were covered in boot concepts.
Wait,
yeah, if you take down the wall of fan art, it's just nothing but boot designs.
Okay.
Pants and boots and boots and pants and boots and pants.
But they're not good at boots. They're pretty basic. Okay. In response,
there's just a picture of boots from Dora the Explorer on the wall.
Oh my God. Can you say genocide? What's a Spanish word for genocide? Do we have anybody in the chat can help us?
In response, hordes. See what I did there? I'm clever. Hordes of fans went online to defend the new look and to question why seemingly grown men were so emotionally invested in an animated teen girl's body.
All the friendly media.
Scores of women and girls created and modeled their own elaborate She-Ra cosplay costumes. Actually, most of the cosplay costumes I've seen were the original She-Ra.
Yeah.
Original She-Ra, and because cosplayers like to dress up and feel sexy.
Yes, but you're not allowed to do that because that's wrong. That's wrong.
This is sexy as hell.
Because
Look at this.
Look
at that.
I've heard more women be mad about this than men, first of all. And I'm so tired of hearing this bullshit BS. It's all men. It's all men. It's all men. It's all men. It's not men. You know
you're taking this reboot way more personally than I am. I mean, you know, that right there, just our small little demographic here. You are way more upset about this.
Genocidio.
Can you say genocidio?
Is that?
And then we got Swiper in there, you know. Swiper, no killing. Swiper, no killing. Anyway.
Oh God.
Okay, anyway, maybe you can find a map to where you can get
this
the
is only
decent
one
show.
of 3 articles, by the way, so feel free to
I can't wait for the
They get better. This is the least dumb.
Wait, no, I gotta say this. Swiper and the Manifest Destiny.
That's glorious. Okay, anyway, I have to finish this. Okay. Okay. Still others, including professional artists from animation companies around town, created hundreds of pieces of fan art, many of which Stevenson posted on her Twitter account.
So people looking for jobs.
We have a wall of fan art that is floor to ceiling. Well, how so? Full of art from people who connected with that character, the whole 8% that you're, pandering to. And that's who we were doing this for. What I thought, call me crazy, I thought you were doing it for kids. I didn't think you were doing it for all your friends that agree with you and all your, millennial friends and that. I thought you were doing it for the children.
They're doing it for the up
Where are the little 8-year-old kids fan art pictures of She-Ra? That's what I want to know. That's all I'm saying. So, okay, if you want to watch a pretty lady with an hourglass figure, you can go to many places to find that. Go ahead.
Oh, DCV Titan. He's like bankroll in this episode. Swiper, no gassy. Oh.
Damn, there was my plan.
Oh.
Now what am I going to do? We have a case. Wait, blah, 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 character. Okay.
Blah, blah, blah.
Inside the DreamWorks recording studio, Stevenson took a break from her showrunner duties to provide the voice of Spinnerella. Oh, of course she did. One of her OCs. One of She-Ra's princess pals. Along with the other people. I'm not reading all the names.
Wait, did they say Spinnerella is one of her original characters?
She's doing the voice.
No, Spinnerella was an original character.
No, it was.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
She's OCing all these characters, taking them from where they originally were and making them kind of like her OC versions. But she's doing the voice of Spinnerella. So, okay.
I want to be Spinnerella.
The Evil Horde
Why can't I be
forces
Spinnerella?
the place.
You know what?
I
I can't blame her there, because if this show like is it syndicated at any point, she's not going to get any residuals for being a writer or being a showrunner on the show.
Well, that's true.
But she will get residuals for being a voice. So that's just smart.
Alex Hirsch, he did like half the cast of Gravity Falls, I think.
Yeah, because he knew where the money was.
This thing?
Oh, it's the New York Times. It's his,
Not counting one lone guy. Everyone inside. Okay. Diversity, people. Not counting one lone guy. Everyone inside and outside the studio is female. The show has one male actor on the regular voice cast. Well, they have more. And an all-female writer's room. Because, diversity. Because it's so diverse when it's all women.
Well, this is the play right out of the play for High Guardian Spice. Like,
are they all white women?
They're all lighter skin, yeah. I mean, the pictures they've shown. But I'm just saying, they're all women.
There's no black women. There's no Latina women that
there might be Latina women. They're lighter skinned at once. But I'm just saying, it's women. Like, their diversity is, we're all women. We're women.
That's what happened to, I'm still trying, this is not alcoholic, but
I need some.
Okay, so where did Chuck Austin go?
I don't know.
Where did Chuck Austin go? Chuck Austin was credited as being co-showrunner. They talked about him early on as being co-showrunner. Chuck Austin is missing. Chuck Austin is silent. What the hell happened to Chuck Austin?
I only ever saw him mentioned in that very first article, and then I never saw him mentioned again.
Yeah, I never saw him either.
They keep him in the basement, I guess. I don't know what they do.
Was it Françoise Mouly, a longtime comics publisher and art director at The New Yorker, was a judge on the panel that awarded Stevenson Zamona a Best Webcomic Prize for 2012.
I have to do the voice.
Okay.
In Noelle's work, you can see why it's so important to have talented young women in high-powered creative roles. Her work goes way beyond passing the Bechdel test.
Oh, God. Okay. I'm going to start the Pratt test. Here's the Pratt test. And I'm so tired of hearing about the effing Bechdel test. The effing Bechdel test is skewed and it's ridiculous. Basically, if there's characters that are women and they talk about men at all, you fail the test because, I thought, okay, so my comment is, what if it's a woman who's a lesbian and she likes another woman? But that passes the Bechdel test because she likes the woman. My test is this. Is your story good? Do you have good, strong characters that can stand on their own and they're good characters? Then guess what? You passed the test.
Right.
People in the chat are speculating that Chuck Austin was murdered.
I don't know.
That's a genocide.
Because they were talking him up in the first, and that was actually an article from the Mary Sue, and then he was on the IMDb page, and then he disappeared.
He's buried in the same place that Kathleen Kennedy dumped the bodies of Lord and Miller after firing them from Solo.
Oh my God.
All the time spent not talking about guys frees up the princesses for more worthwhile work.
Oh my God.
Like battling the evil horde. They didn't talk about guys so much in the first one unless they were talking about her brother.
The evil men, or horde.
Bo was pretty gay in the original show.
Yes, Seahawk wasn't. Seahawk was a badass with an ascot.
Seahawk was
a shield.
He did. He did.
He did.
Grizzlor as a shield. We were watching like the best of Seahawk a couple of weeks ago on YouTube. I'm like, oh my God, he just grabbed that dude and let him get shot and then tossed him aside like a piece of trash.
Well, in fairness, Grizzlor had it coming.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying.
But there's an episode that I saw not too long ago where Bo is really intent on impressing the Red Knight in this competition. And he's just doing everything he can to like show off. And the Red Knight is like having none of it. And there's even a part where they have to run across these logs. And Bo says, no, you can do it really fast this way. And he's like jumping from log to log. And the Red Knight, I swear to God, in the most indignant voice says, I prefer to keep things on the straight and narrow. And runs across the logs, just straight across.
Shut down, Bo.
I was like, yeah, this is definitely subtext from the writers. They're saying Bo is attracted to the Red Knight, and the Red Knight is not having it.
Not that there's anything wrong with that, but Seahawk and She-Ra had a thing going on.
Yeah, they did.
Clearly this Seahawk is gonna be. So wait, if there's only one male voice actor who's
the main cast. They have other ones too.
Who's voicing Seahawk?
Yeah, Seahawk's probably not a
We're going to learn about the things that we're appealing to the children. All the time spent not talking about guys frees up the princesses for more worthwhile work, like battling the evil horde, which is the embodiment of some of our world's nastiest ills. Colonization in the name of orderliness? Check. Genocide, albeit hinted at, and the destruction of the planet through scorched earth warfare? Check. The writers also delve into the dangers of isolationism, the princess, at least before they met She-Ra, and prejudice against tech geeks and others.
Okay, you know the original show, the garbage campy show that you keep taking a shit on, this article also covered those themes, and they did it in a less ham-fisted way. But I'm just saying.
I'm so pro Horde now. Just burn it all down, Hordak. Burn it to the ground.
I'm gonna change my Twitter avatar to the red bat.
There you go. You should do it. Okay. Heady stuff aside, the relationships from the core of the show, Stevenson said, throughout the series, there's wide-eyed love and heart-rendering jealousy. Ooh, catty. Crushes and infatuations and everything in between. They're teenagers, she said. Well, this...
Oh my god. This is going to be a train wreck.
Everything's going to sound bad when you read it in that voice.
She can flatten you with one swing of her mighty sword. But when the series starts, she's never been to a dance. What?
Wait, what? Wait, what? She can flatten you. Wait, let me read it. You didn't make this shit up, right? Okay, she can flatten you with one swing of her mighty sword, yes. But when the series starts, she's never been to a dance.
Or danced
or gone to a party.
Or gone to a party or fallen in love. She worries if her new friends will like her, or if she shouldn't even be doing this whole warrior princess
I don't want an awkward She-Ra.
Like, oh my god.
She-Ra,
this warrior princess thing? I just don't know.
Oh my god.
It doesn't go with my boots. And boots are key to my character.
Boots and pants.
Boots. Wait, does it say boots are key to my character, or did you just make that up?
No, I said that.
Okay.
Oh my god. Oh my god. You remember how Adora was a complete badass and she was in charge of the Horde army, and she had a freaking cannon in her freaking bedroom because she was a badass? Remember that Adora who took charge?
But the boots.
Boots and pants.
So is she not captain of the Horde Guard when we meet her in this anymore? Like,
they're competing to be the captain of the Guard.
Yeah, I think they're
but she's all awkward and I'm so worried and I don't know about boys.
She's a captain of the Guard at a young age, but she's also like, I just never been to a dance.
If she's gonna be the captain,
what if I step on Catra's toes?
Oh my god! If she's gonna be the captain of the Horde Guard, and the Horde of these horrible people, She-Ra should be like slitting the throats of her classmates to get to that.
I don't know.
Adora should be like
I'd watch that show.
Yeah,
I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you go to these dances, you just have to have just the right dress to go with those boots, because the boots are important, and it's really hard, and it's stressful, and she's gonna spend a good hour or two worrying about what she should wear to that dance, because she's a teenager. When you're coming, now I'm going back to the story. When you're coming into your own as a young adult, you're starting to feel all these things. Yeah, in reality, but this is a TV show.
She's got bigger shit to worry about.
You're starting to fall in love for the first time with Catra. No, it doesn't say that. I'm just adding it. You're starting
you don't have to add it. I think it's going to be
apart from some of your friends, Catra. And there are these new feelings to explore, and our characters have a lot of feelings. There's so much
feelings and genocide.
So much.
Carl,
that's like a '90s, like an alt, like one of these, like indie comics from the '90s. Like, it's not Love and Rockets, it's feelings and genocide.
Boots and genocide.
It's inspired by Moebius and
inspired by Moebius. Yes. Miyazaki.
Boots and Genocide, inspired by Moebius, was my college band.
God. This episode brought to you by the DVC Titan. Thank you. Thank you. So this whole new series is an author self-insert so they can relive middle school life they never had.
It seems like it.
It's like a young adult novel with, like...
Look, okay, our one character in our story is a teenager, and we deal with some of these same issues in our story. The difference is they're part of the story, but it's not like... Yeah, she doesn't wear boots. The difference is it's part of the story, but it's not like I'm making everything about these issues. Like, I mean, she still has to stand on her own, and she still has to kick butt, and those issues are part of it. But I'm not presenting the story as, come listen to our story. It's a story about a girl from our world who gets swept to another world, but we have to listen to all her teenage angst issues. And boots.
And boots. Spawn Freak, $5. Thank you so much. Tumblr hates women who are strong, attractive, and confident. The kind of women young girls should look up to. This She-Ra sounds awkward and socially maladjusted and possibly borderline personality disorder. I don't know. I'm just like armchair diagnosing here.
There definitely seems to be some kind of backlash against femininity in general from a lot of the media because it makes other people feel bad. about themselves.
Make people feel bad.
You know what I need to do? We need to do one of these episodes, and I need to go get my heels on, my dress on, do my hair, sit here with my blingy purse, and every girly possible thing I can do, and I'll read. I should read it in my girliness because I'll show you femininity. And boots. I'll wear boots. I've got girly red boots.
She's got freaking thigh-high boots.
I do have those. Those are black.
You haven't worn those since before.
I have black. Those are black.
I'd totally be down with that.
Yeah, but I got red boots too, and they're very girly, so I should wear them to show you strong girliness.
If I said I did too, can I work in comics again?
You can wear the thigh-high boots, and I'll wear the red ones.
All right. All right, we'll do it. We'll do it. I'll be freaking Seahawk.
The show seems so different that I really do just kind of wonder what it would have been if they would have just given Stevenson carte blanche to just create something from the ground up. I mean, I feel like you would have at least not. It probably is what she wanted. Why wouldn't she want that? Unless she was like a She-Ra super fan, which it doesn't seem like she was, because she hadn't. She said in that interview that she hadn't watched the original show. She'd played with some of the toys. So I don't understand why studios say we're going to do this thing, and we're going to make it so radically because it's recognizable and it has an established fan base. But we're going to do it so differently that it will be unrecognizable. It'll be completely different and alienate the existing fans.
But that will blame them.
Yeah, and then blame them.
Yeah, I don't.
But let her do something original. I'm sure that number one, it wouldn't have had the backlash because it would have been something that nobody had any kind of idea what to expect, and it would have just been accepted on face value.
I agree with you.
If they're this, I mean, obviously they're confident in Stevenson. They made her a showrunner. So did they only make her a showrunner because they were like, well, we'll give her an established property because then we're hedging our bets? Is that why? Or if they had faith in her ability, they should have given her own her own team and her own concept and let her swing for the fences.
And there would I don't know. Yeah, it's kind of same with like Steven Universe. Like I mean I'm like indifferent to Steven Universe because I'm like it's its own thing. It's not. I mean, people have criticism of Steven Universe or whatever for whatever reason, but I'm like, it's not aping another show.
Right.
It is its own thing. You either like it or you don't like it, but they didn't, reboot, Sailor Moon as Steven Universe or whatever, where there are those fan expectations. I don't know. It's just, it sounds like this kind of reeks of like corporate meddling. Like, what IP do we have? What's hot?
That's what
right
it is.
now?
I think they spent a lot
What's
on
hot
IP.
right now, and who's the it girl right now to run it? So we're gonna put these two things together and see what we come up with. Alex Purdue, thank you, $10, thank you. They don't like femininity because it reflects on their insecurities about their sex appeal, and they want everyone to be as miserable as they are. I don't know. There are some people out there that are just really grumpy all the time.
I'd say that's probably true. That's probably true for some people. There's some people that just want to spread misery. You see them on the internet all the time.
Rammstein.
It's not Rammstein. It's Rammstein. No, it's our friend, and he always makes fun of him.
Rammstein.
Stop
I love that. I always laugh when you say that, and I never knew why you were doing it.
Oh, he
like,
does
whenever
it
I've heard
because
about it,
he's our friend. He actually know him in person.
We know him in the real world.
Yes,
he
in the
exists.
real
We
world.
actually have friends in the real world.
Well, imagine that.
Can you believe
and
it?
And he always picks on him about that. He always says Rammstein, and it's like.
Well, I just know so many people that would say it that way too when they'd be talking about them, be like Rammstein. Like they would always like evoke that voice. So whenever you say it, it makes me laugh.
He knows where you live.
Oh, thanks, Scott. You didn't have to do that. Okay, and nobody has to do that. You're more than welcome to, but you don't have to.
Let's go.
This is a new one. This is written by Brittany Lovely. I don't think that's a real name.
It might be.
I hope it is.
Me.
It was
sounds
mine.
like a
I'd
Bond.
use it.
It sounds like a Bond girl, doesn't it? Brittany.
I get accused of having a fake name all the time. So, Brittany, I hope that is your name.
Okay, well, there you go.
I think it's kind of
Meet Glimmer and Bo. She-Ra will deliver your new favorite best friend duo.
Glimmer is not my favorite because she looks like a Steven Universe character and doesn't look like Glimmer.
Yeah, exactly. She's nothing like Glimmer. You mean like the models with the skinny models?
It's because she has wings now. She doesn't have to walk. That's why. Right. Okay, so who are Glimmer and Bo? I'm not fat.
She's wearing compression socks.
Under her boots. She's wearing boots
Under
too.
her boots.
They have little moons on them. I saw her character design. They have little moons on them.
But the boots are so basic drawn. They're not so much on the boots. The boots are like crap. Anyway.
Who are Glimmer and Bo in the new She-Ra? Only two best friends that anyone could have. This is my best Brittany voice. She-Ra makes her way to Netflix on November 16th, while the story of Adora and her journey to become She-Ra lays the groundwork for the series. Prepare to welcome Bo and Glimmer to be part of your best friend squad.
Best friend squad!
In the scenes show.
Who is this article written for?
And the scenes show the audience is New York Comic Con. The allure and thrill of watching Adora transform into She-Ra for the first time brought the house down.
Wasn't that Sailor Moon?
Okay, I have taken a shot with every cringy thing that you've read, and I am hammered right now.
Awesome. This is going to be the best podcast ever. Best Friend Squad. Okay.
Oh my God.
But in a few clips, fans were treated to the first look at Bo and Glimmer, Adora's future comrades and founding members of the official... Wait, they're actually calling it the Best Friend Squad?
Yes, they are. Best Friend Squad!
Are you shitting me?
Oh my God! Oh my God! Let's go do our nails and commit genocide!
Are they calling it the Best Friend Squad on the show?
They call it that at the con, too. Like, oh my God!
Nobody wants to watch She-Ra with the Best Friend Squad! Oh my God! Okay, the duo...
I think my liver just came out.
Oh my God! The duo enters the series as a pair of friends who just happen upon a wandering member of the Horde. Whoa. That person, Adora, takes up the sword of protection and realizes her destiny in the process. As Glimmer and Bo learn to accept Adora into their ranks, don't expect the two to solely serve her story. Not to mention that they look so fantastic while doing so.
You're not doing it right. It's like, you look so fantastic! Oh my God!
They look fabulous.
Do they have Instagram on the Theria?
My IQ just dropped 10 points.
Oh my God, Marcus Scribner. Oh
my God, yes, there's gonna be selfies galore.
Oh shit, those tech nerds. Marcus Scribner plays Bo, who hates the original Bo, and Karen.
Yeah, and therefore I hate Marcus Scribner.
I'm sorry. I thought that was very. I get he's a young dude, but I thought that was really kind of crap. It
was unprofessional.
Yeah, and
that really bothered me.
Yeah, Fukuhara Glimmer sat down with Hypable, but this is okay. Let me before I go here. This is the tone of the marketing. This is the biggest marketing fail. Almost every article coming from a major news outlet regarding the show takes a shit on the original show, and somehow it does.
If you want to get people from the original fan base to watch your show and like your show, and you're trying to promote it, the best way to do that is not to say, all you people who like the original campy shit show don't know what you're talking about. It's not for you. You know what I'm saying? You don't go piss on the old show and everybody who liked it.
If you love that big bag of bullshit that Filmation gave you, you're gonna love this shit.
I know, right?
We've got everything you want. We've got boots. We've got genocide. We've got colonialism. We've got Hordak with a Hitler haircut. I actually kind of like that design.
I did too. That was the one thing I actually.
Best Friend Squad.
And the Best Friend Squad. Okay, so
can they please just call it Bestie Squad?
Oh my God,
make it even more cringe.
God,
please.
That would be like the Marvel superhero squad, like little chibi. Oh my God. Okay, so they sat down with Hypable after their panel at New York Comic Con to discuss why Bo and Glimmer will win over your affection. Please do. In the preview footage, there are several clips featuring Bo and his boyish charm. He's upbeat, hyper positive, and endearing, and non-threatening. If you're a fan of Avatar: The Last Airbender, expect to feel some major Sokka and early Aang vibes. There's one thing about Bo that does not exactly fit the universe he finds himself inhabiting. He is a boy.
Aww.
Icky boys. DCV Titan, thank you again. You didn't have to do that. They don't have Instagram, but from the look of the characters and background, they got Tumblr and Fur Affinity. Yes.
Well, Hordak's a dude, right?
And
they haven't changed that.
Bad. He's a bad man.
He's not hyper positive and endearing.
He's not hyper positive.
He's not Best Friend Squad material.
I find Hordak super endearing.
I'm like, seriously, like he opens his mouth. I'm like, shit, dude, I'm gonna join the Horde. I like where this is going. You're gonna cleanse some of these losers from, yeah, sure, let's go for it, man. No, Bo is
thoughtful and empathetic, and he never mansplains.
No, he
right,
doesn't.
He doesn't. He knows his place.
He's got eyelashes too. Scribner looks forward to young viewers seeing a different male character in Bo. I feel like Bo definitely brings a different aspect to masculinity, and Bo shows a lot of kids, especially a lot of young boys, what it means to be a man and support your fellow female comrades, your friends, your sisters, your mothers, your girlfriend, whatever it happens to be.
You know what?
I feel like Bo in the original show did that.
Yeah, I agree with
He
you.
did.
He was the perfect gay friend. He could not have been a better sidekick.
He was good. And
he was always supportive.
I don't like this because basically, he's basically the agreeable, non-threatening male, and all boys should watch this because they need to learn how to be agreeable and non-threatening.
That's right.
I'm a mother of a son.
Never challenge.
Never challenge female authority.
Well, that's actually a good lesson, but anyway, no, I'm kidding.
We know who runs a house. She is Hordak. She's Hordak with red hair.
That's right.
Oh, you know what? I
find that incredibly sexy.
I yearn for the day. Yes, I yearn for the day when I have someone who will just run things for me. Please just tell me what to do because I have no idea what's happening at any moment.
She likes my boyish charm.
Yeah, that's what you call
that's
it.
right.
That's my boyish charm. Okay, Bo's not there in the forefront saying, "Hey guys, I got this." No, he's there to support Adora and She-Ra.
He's hero support.
He's hero support. he's going to the Sidekicks Lounge, and he's there to support the rest of the Princesses of Power. He's definitely a great role model, and I excited for people and young boys to look up to realize that this is possibly the way they should be living their lives.
To be the support.
To be.
Oh, okay. So this show is
Bo is cut.
That is a flat out admission that this show is indoctrination.
Yeah.
So
we are going to indoctrinate your kids into a philosophy.
And the only other male character we see is Seahawk, who I don't know what the hell's going on with Seahawk, and the Hordak, who's trying to burn the world down.
So you should be ashamed of yourself if you're a male. That's what we need. Up there, Tom, there's that.
Alex,
well, I mean,
Bo's cut to male feminist 101.
I am ashamed of myself, but that's
Yeah, I know, right? But not for the right reasons. You need to understand your place. Anyway, go ahead.
This actually concerns me because even though Bo was probably gay in the original show, there were other male characters. Bo was a cool dude and he could kick ass. He was a hell of an archer. She-Ra kicked the most ass, but Bo wasn't just a sidekick, really.
No,
he was,
it's basically what you're talking. Young boys can learn how they can be a support role, and they can
keep their mouths
shut. They can be the mercy.
They can be the mercy
of the life, and they need to learn that they're mercy, and they are
support
not.
Staff. You're the healer.
Yeah,
Shut up.
You're support. You're not. One of the other.
Potion me.
You're not one of the tanks or something. You're support.
You're not a tank. You're a healer. Jesse N, $2. Thank you. Didn't have to do that. Did the original Bo look like Tom Selleck? Yeah, he did. But the toy looked like a Ken doll with a little throbbing heart.
He didn't have the mustache.
Yeah, he didn't have the great porn stash, which was amazing.
Yeah. So another area where the show hopes to tread in a new path is with the relationship between Bo and Glimmer. Surely it's platonic.
That's what we're saying.
They're not going to be a couple in this iteration. They weren't a couple originally.
Right. They
no.
were.
Bo didn't get none from no one.
Instead, when he tried, the Red Knight shot him down.
The Red Knight shut him down. He shut him down hard. Instead, the series will focus on their friendship and what that bond means for the both of them. Ours is true friendship. It's almost brother and sister. There's an episode in the series where Glimmer gets a little jealous because Bo gets a new friend, the Red Knight, a new best friend, and I think I'm going to get replaced. It's fun to explore such a deep friendship between a male and female character.
Because it's so unique and unusual to have male and female be friends. You can't.
Yeah, I know, right?
That's never been done before.
That's never been done before. Because. Just every person of the opposite gender, you just
want to screw them. That's all you want to do. There's no friendship involved.
Because we're just animals. We're a bunch of freaking animals, men. Okay, Nicholas Horton. Thank you. Is Seahawk still Adora's love interest? I don't think so. It doesn't look promising.
Catra's her love interest from what it looks like.
Yeah. I'm 110% sure Catra. There's something going on with Catra and Adora.
Someone said it should be called a bow stash. Slicer Neon says that he rocked the page. It should be called the bow stash. It should be.
In addition to the clips shown of Bo and Glimmer at New York Comic Con, it was apparent that Adora and the friends she leaves behind, Catra, have many obstacles to overcome, but that does not mean that Bo and Glimmer will be playing second fiddle in their story, just Bo. She-Ra is truly a coming-of-age story for everyone, except men. Glimmer and Bo must overcome their own prejudices against Adora and her past and tackle their ongoing personal issues outside of that. For Glimmer, she's the daughter of a queen, and she wants to prove herself to her mother and everyone else. She's struggling with what she can do, what she hopes to do. She's supposed to be this warrior, but her mother is being protective. Glimmer just wants to go out there and prove herself. Throughout the series, you'll see Glimmer really growing up from being a daughter to being an actual leader. I'm glad somebody is. And not everything can be sunshine and rainbows, even if Bo does a great job convincing you of that. Bo's definitely an interesting character because from the jump start, he seems like he's a super positive, amazing best friend, super supportive, and he is all those things, but he tries really hard to be that. The most powerful moment.
None of that sounds like an interesting character. That sounds like every character that we're getting in these shows now, where everybody's super positive, everybody's super great, and they have no flaws, and everybody's fantastic, and there's no challenges, and there's no personality flaws because they are perfectly representative of everybody. And yay, go team, and bestie team squad forever.
No, but I was gonna say it's like we were talking about the new Daredevil. I'm not gonna ruin anything important, but this reminds me of the whole well you need to say something like oh that must be hard. That's what this reminds me.
Where they're bullseye like, and you put Aurelia in there too. Good job. Good job lying to people that you actually empathize with them. The most powerful moments in storytelling tend to arrive when the writers dig into the cracks and explore what's really going on behind the facade.
Get in that crack and mess with it.
I am too drunk for this.
The genocide crack. When you're trying to support a group of people and you want to be that positive figure, your mental state starts to break down. Wait, what? When you're trying to support a group of people and you want to be positive, your mental state starts to break down. And throughout the season, we get to see that with Bo.
Maybe he's breaking down because he's tired of being told he's mercy and he's the support.
Oh my God. I want to see Bo go batshit crazy. I want this to go like Neon Genesis Evangelion and Bo to be like, just like a shot of Bo in the shadows, in the water, in the just like questioning his existence.
No, this PR has turned me around. I want all of
God,
this. I want genocide. I want colonialism. I want mental illness. This is everything I have ever wanted.
Mental illness, Bo. I want this.
What they're pulling out of cracks. I have opinions on what that could be.
He gets a little edge in certain episodes, and I think that's kind of exciting to see a different side of Bo. But overall, he's still a great guy.
You have to slap that edge down. You're not allowed to have edge. You're trying to creep into hero territory and not support.
I want to see him just like he's like super positive and upbeat, and all of a sudden he just slips in some really psychotic shit. Like what? Oh, nothing. Can I fetch you your sword, Shira? The DCV Titan.
He's just like he and Glimmer having a nice conversation, and all of a sudden he says something like, "I want to tear your flesh. I want to wear your flesh." I want to be born into new worlds where your flesh is my key. And she's like, what? And he's like, oh, I really love your boots.
Dig into the cracks. Dig into the cracks phrasing. Oh my God. Okay. So Fukuhara states that digging into the characters. I love Bo.
Not to dig into
support with his support. That's his hero support wreath. States that digging into the character not only gave her a new perspective on who Glimmer was within this universe, but how she reflects a younger version of the actress herself.
It's all your OC. Go ahead.
Each character goes through their own identity crisis within their friendship group, within this world that we create, and it's fun to see the characters find support of the best friend squad and the princesses. Don't they have bigger things to worry about, like stopping the genocide and the colonialism?
Well, this is the problem. Like, I'm worried about the tone, because if you want to work in all these heavy things like genocide and colonialism and the ills of mankind
and boots.
Say, look, those boots look like crap.
They all have awesome boots.
No, they're not. They're hideous.
Oh, we got some. Hold on, we got some super chats. Terry Bogard Wallace basically teaches men how to be cucks and cater to your wife's boyfriend. Ouch! Let me get my boots and colonialism haircut.
Wait! Look at he did the abbreviations in between every letter of cucks, and that reminds me of cops. Fighting crime in a future time.
That's gonna be a new show.
I would kill to reboot that show.
I want this to go full SJW. I don't think there is any problem, Jesse. This is gonna be a very woke show. Make it go in the worst way possible to serve an example how not too cartoon.
But you know what's gonna happen? They're gonna go so far. They're all gonna tune in to watch it just to see how bad it's gonna go.
And that's gonna be what we're gonna go from now on. We're gonna drink and watch She-Ra and live stream the reaction.
Okay. I'll totally do that.
We're
you get me drunk and I live stream the reaction.
I am so down for this.
Oh my God.
And I'll wear my pretty girly boots and my glitter and sparkles, and I'll show them what true femininity looks like.
And me too, and I'll be your support.
Okay.
You know what? And I will totally eat crow if I am wrong. If I watch it and this was pretty great, I will totally I will send Noelle Stevenson a fruit basket and say congratulations.
We will totally say it's good too and say we take it all back.
Absolutely. Oh hell, Rammstein wants in too. We're gonna have the Tuesday night
best friend.
We'll call it the best friend squad.
Because he lives by us.
Best drunk friend squad.
Best friend squad.
Yes.
Say it with us, Rammstein. Best friend squad.
Rammstein.
Go ahead.
He's old enough to drink now.
So the super best friends gang rides again.
Oh my God. I think they're gonna sell these boots in Hot
Support is something most young children look for as they navigate their middle school years. Wait, well, that's actually kind of true.
Yeah, but this isn't middle school. This is like the freaking end of the world.
They have to remind you this is for kids. Shira and the stories it hopes to tell will likely resonate with children and adults, because it's mostly for adults.
It's mostly for adults, let's be honest.
Who are currently or have gone through similar experiences.
I think
Drinking will be Tracy Petey for life says drinking will be the answer to this whole show.
I think I look at Glimmer's personality and her growth in the series as something I went through when I was younger. Fukuhara said, as an insecure middle schooler, issues with trying to figure blah blah do the right thing, being insecure. Everybody's gonna be awkward in this show. You're supposed to be freaking warriors.
Is everybody making shows now just trying to work out their childhood trauma through the things that they're working on?
It seems
just
like
wait for Thundercats
when I was in middle school, I was really shy. I wouldn't even speak. People thought I was a snob because I was so shy I wouldn't talk, and I had issues fitting in and everything else too. And I still think this is shit. But anyway, go ahead.
I got beat up a lot, and I beat other people up a lot, but I was okay. I turned out all right. I turned out sort of okay.
I want to reboot Mask and use it to work through intimacy issues.
Why won't you look at me? Why don't you return my calls, Matt? Why? It's like you're wearing a mask.
Yes. See, it works. It works. The theme works. It's like I never get to know the real you.
It's like you're wearing a mask.
Oh my god.
And then they all turn to the camera. Get it?
I get it. I get it.
And behind the scenes, what's been the most fun for the actors? The boot designs? No, the freedom to do whatever it takes to get a sound effect or voice just right.
Okay.
That's dumb. That's what every voice actor does on everything.
I know.
Right? That is not unique to this.
I know, but everything's unique to them. They're special.
It's so much fun. You really just have to go for it. You don't have to worry about what your face looks like or the emotions you're portraying. Because don't worry, they won't put those emotions in the animation.
Making faces.
If you have to make a face to make that specific noise, you can do that. Wait. Honey, I need you to make that specific noise. Right now.
Mark Roth says Robot Chicken already used Mask to work on intimacy issues. Okay, then I'm gonna use Cops then, and it's just all gonna be about Long Arm's terrible relationship with his father.
Oh my gosh! He also cited that those years of practicing a Chewbacca impression for laughs finally had some payoff in his career.
What? Wait, this is Bo?
I hate it. I hate everything right now.
There's a lot of parts of the script where you just have the sound effects. It's fun to go above and beyond what you think you're allowed to do. Our director, Mary, is always pushing us to go bigger, because if we go bigger, she can reel you back.
Okay, guys, let's think about what kind of sound effects we can make in relation to this story.
I am opening the Japanese whiskey. I just like can't.
Ready? Here's mine. You have to outdo me now. Okay, give us yours, Aaron. What's your sound effect?
Da 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 da.
I don't want to go through my childhood traumas. I have enough problems in my current day.
Right?
I'm trying to block out my. Oh God. Okay, so that is from Hypeable.
Well, there's more?
No, every one of these hits a specific thing. This is here to tell us that Shira is high art on the level of Miyazaki and Moebius, and that the original show was shit. And this article is to tell us about these besties and how Bo will be the most non-threatening male.
And the original Bo was shit.
So now
Chris H says, OMG, he's such a wacky nerd. He does Chewbacca sounds.
I know, I saw that.
Oh my god.
That's not Bob!
So this must have been provided to. Oh, hey, DC. Oh my God, DCV Titan, you're like bankrolling the show, but I appreciate it. Thank you. You didn't have to do that.
He's paying for the whiskey we're gonna drink when we watch
Cannot wait for Thundercats Roar. Just burn it from memory and make a second season of the 2011 reboot. Yes. Not being irritated by the word snarf will be so worth it. You know what? They have stopped. Warner Brothers has completely stopped talking about Thundercats Roar. I think they're hoping it just quietly goes away.
Did you say graped because of a Whitest Kids You Know sketch? I'm just curious.
I don't know.
There's actually a Whitest Kids You Know sketch where it's a bunch of corporate guys sitting around, and they've come up with this for their grape soda or their grape juice or whatever. They have a new mascot called the Grapist. And there's only one guy who's like, does anybody else have a problem with this?
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say about Dibble. This is my most Dibble. I was actually thinking Dibble. See, we need an edgy Dibble, which is all about teen angst and boots and genocide.
Oh my God. That's going to be our edgy. That's going to be our Image Vertigo comic, teen angst and boots.
Dibble just outside the boys' bathroom, just cutting himself and smoking a cigarette.
Oh, God.
talking like just Holden Caulfield talking about everybody's phonies, you know.
Okay, so this is from Newsarama, that bastion of journalistic integrity, written by Newsarama.com staff because nobody wants to take credit for it. Probably provided by the PR firm, if I had to guess.
I'm sure you're right.
Okay. In less than 2 weeks, the reimagination of the classic 1980s cartoon She-Ra, Princesses of Power as She-Ra and the Princesses of Power, including Bo, will debut. Lumberjanes co-creator Noelle Stevenson leads the charge in this Netflix DreamWorks animation co-production, shining a new light on these classic characters. Cool. Let's talk about the show and the action, all the cool-ass shit we're going to see in the show. I'm so excited for little girls to grow up with this and to look at some of the characters or connect some of them.
Did they say cool-ass shit in this article?
No. I added that. Would that be cool, though? This show has some cool ass shit. Watch it. That would be my press release.
We already saw the characters calling each other bitch in the closed captioning the last time we watched the She-Ra video.
That would be great. Oh my god, that'd be so kick ass. I'm so excited.
I want to redub it.
Oh my god, that's what we're gonna do. We're not gonna watch it because I'll get dinged. I won't be able to monetize that. We'll freaking redub it. We'll go all like riff tracks on She-Ra.
I'm so in.
Holy shit, that would be the most epic.
I gotta wear boots.
You have to wear boots. You gotta make Chewbacca sounds. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
So get like nameless voice actors to come in and just like completely anonymous come in and just like dub new She-Ra. I'm so excited for little girls to grow up with this and look up to some of the characters and connect with them. Blah blah, says Karen.
Wait. I'm so excited for little girls to grow up with this and look up to some of the characters or connect to some of them more than others.
And connect to some of them more than others. Yes. We have a diverse cast. Here we go.
A lot of women and a man.
A lot of ethnicities, a lot of different shapes and sizes. The show is about inclusivity. And
are some of the voice actors? When they say they have a diverse cast, many ethnicities, many shapes and sizes, are the actors many shapes and sizes? Because everybody I saw at that panel looked pretty fit.
That's what
they looked pretty too. Los Angeles Hollywood fit, you know.
They did to me too. So I was wondering that too, because the diversity just means that you're all different shapes and sizes.
But again, this is like, okay, so tell us about the show. Oh, DCV Time made the She-Ra Bridge series. Oh my god, that would be great. Okay, we have a diverse cast, lots of ethnicities with a lot of different shapes and sizes. Shows about inclusivity, and it will be exciting to see how people connect to each individual character. We've got a character for you. We've got a best friend for you. In October, it's kind of like Build-A-Bear, right? Like like they've got, you know, it's like, who do you want your best friend to be? Fat one, thin one, brown one, white one? We got one of every kind here.
Well, I think that's probably how they're described in the actual like show, like when they were designing it. That's one of the exact descriptions they had. Okay.
In October in New York Comic Con, it was revealed that character Bo has been written to have two fathers, a progressive step that is part of She-Ra's mission. Mission, according to the man who voices the character. Mission. It's definitely She-Ra's mission. Mission to reflect and represent reality, and I think two dads is not an uncommon thing in this world. No, but the mission I thought for She-Ra was to kick Hordak's ass. That was She-Ra's mission.
Oh, is this show reflecting reality with its Moebius inspired backgrounds and its focus on boots and and its fantastic magical elements? Oh, I didn't realize that reality was what we were trying to achieve.
Marcus Scribner tells News.
Silly of me.
Oh God, it should be celebrated. So we're doing it on She-Ra. Yes, it's been done before. I'm just putting that out there. I think it's important to represent everyday people, and two dads. Wait, is that what the whole article is about? Is two dads aren't something that isn't seen? Yeah, actually, they had two moms on Clarence, I think. Jesse N, can I dub the actor? Can I be the dub actor for the fat one? Which one, Jesse? You need to be more specific. Okay, it's not a common thing we see, and we love that you said we celebrate it. We definitely do. It's very diverse, our show. It's very
diverse.
Noelle Stevenson expands on the LGBTQ representation of the show by saying, this is something that's obviously very close to my heart. I'm a gay woman. I'm engaged to a woman.
That's what she said in New York City.
Yeah, they just kind of took it and made it about two dads. It's something that is very personal to me, important to me. Okay, that's cool. The show's about relationships, it's about friendships, it's about family, it's about romantic relationships at all times. Okay.
But not Glimmer and Bow.
But not
Never,
Glimmer Bow.
All of those... and it's about genocide and colonial
and boots
and fantastic boots.
All of this wrapped up in a package for children.
All of those are given equal weight because the friendship can be as powerful as a romantic relationship and a family relationship. I agree with that. All of those relationships are explored very thoroughly in the new show. It's also very important to me include representation, make LGBTQ viewers very safe and protected.
How does what? Safe and protected?
Genocide and colonialism and boots.
But it's very important to make
safe and
representation and make LGBTQ
like you had.
viewers
I
safe and
mean,
protected.
I just think that's a poor word choice because I don't see how putting people in a cartoon makes them safe and protected. I just think it's
well, that's what
like represented, sure.
Represented, maybe.
That's why Bo's non-threatening because we have to make sure everybody's safe and protected.
Everybody's safe.
So Bo's dads are gay, but he's not gay in the new show. So they took
his testicles off? Maybe. Maybe. Is that what you meant to say, Aaron? No.
No, that's not what I meant to say. But now that you've said it, I mean, first, it seems like there's no representation there for
eunuchs. We don't have enough eunuchs being represented in cartoon shows.
You don't have enough alopecia people in cartoon shows either.
I want to be the first.
You know what? How come you rarely see albinos
yes.
portrayed in a positive light?
No, not in positive. No. You see them, but usually bad guys.
Yeah, they're usually bad guys.
They are, aren't they?
And redheads are always the kick-ass sluts. They got half.
Well,
they got half that right. I'm not saying which half. You have to figure that one out for yourself, people.
Oh, okay. They're protected. So Stevenson goes on. They are safe and protected. Doesn't mean the characters will always be happy. It doesn't mean things will always work out. It means
that's good.
That's good. They need to be miserable every once in a while, just like the real world. It means I want to tell stories that are important to me and I hope are important to other viewers while dodging pitfalls that can be upsetting or harmful to certain viewers who are marginalized.
Well, we marginalize.
Oh no!
While the fans who don't agree with us that are women and LGBTQ or whatever are marginalized in the argument that your show sucks.
Oh my God! All the bad things are going to happen to Bo.
Yes, they are.
He's going to be
the Grey Worm.
He's Meg. He's going to be the Meg of shut up, Bo, Jesse, and so Bo's like Grey Worm. Yes, Game of Thrones. He's like all the bad shit is going to happen to Bo because we can't have it happen to any of the other characters because we want them to be happy and feel safe.
Who has it worse in Game of Thrones, Bo or Theon?
I don't watch Game of Thrones.
I'd say Theon has it worse. Theon actually got castrated and
oh yeah, that sucks.
Well, there's representation for you though. We wanted eunuchs to be
well in Game of Thrones, sure. In Game of Thrones, but I'm saying where is it in this? Where's my
Where's your
where's my where's my castrated character?
This whole show
we've already
castration.
Theon. That seems to be the. I've watched very little Game of Thrones.
Oh, you know what? Chris H says Venture Brothers have Pete White. He's an albino. That's true. That's true. He's a positive character. That's a good point. But that's it. That's I can't really think of many others.
Okay, so let's continue here. And also, when I revealed that, it's so funny because I wasn't thinking about like news in my mind. The characters, which you'll meet, and I won't say anything more. Oh my God. But they're just so funny, nuanced, and interesting. This is Shira, Amy Carrero.
Yeah.
Speaking on Bo's dad. So I was just thinking about, oh, great. So they're going to be funny dads, funny gay dads. So I was just thinking about who Bo becomes around them, and that's why I love them. Stevenson continues, it's a world where it's all very normal. Well, this is
doesn't sound too normal. I mean,
well, the real world.
It's about boots, and it's about best friends clubs, and all that, and genocide.
Genocide, yeah, that's not really the real. Yeah, it's a world with gender dynamics that we don't see in. It's a world. Wait,
gender dynamics we don't see in real life.
It's in world where it's all very normal. It's a world with gender dynamics we don't see in real life, but we want to reflect real life by having gay characters represented on the show. But that happens in real life.
But the quote is, it's a real world where it's all very normal. It's a world with gender dynamics that we don't see in real life.
I don't know.
What gender dynamics do we not see in real life that we're going to see? Like, are there different genders in this show that don't exist in real life?
I don't know.
Etherean gender norms. DCV Titan. Bo is to new Shira as Joxer was to Xena. Oh, maybe. Oh God. Okay, so it frees us up a lot to play with. The DreamWorks has honestly been very supportive, and I'm really excited. Oh my God, it keeps going. Okay. As for the larger Masters of the Universe canon, it's a little bit of a balancing act. Actually, they can't use it, as I understand. They're not allowed to touch He-Man, and it seems like the only Horde member we're getting is Hordak himself. I have not seen, other than Shadow Weaver, I haven't seen any of the other Horde members. It's something that we have to navigate because we have access to certain things and not others. One of my favorite things about Masters of the Universe is the lore and how broad it is. So much of the show is setting it up almost like the original shows as a mythology of this world. This concerns me. So much of the show is setting it up almost like the original shows as the mythology of this world. The setting is that it's been 1,000 years and they've been on this world that has regrown from this ancient civilization. They still have remnants of it around. That's where the sword came from. They're trying to piece together the truth of who these people were. What is Eternia? What was Grayskull? It's set up almost like a mystery that's been exciting to develop as it has the lore of our show, and then get into it because I love lore.
Oh, so not interested.
I don't.
Basically, He-Man, and that happened 1,000 years ago, and this
is how they get around the issue of, like, you know, okay, Jesse, and wait, how was Bo born if he has two dads? Different gender dynamics.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, so maybe that's it. Maybe like men can conceive in this world and women can conceive.
Hey, it's freaking outer space. Who the hell knows?
Yeah, maybe you wish for a baby on Magic of Grayskull and one of you is pregnant.
That's how it works. Or, you know, you get with Swiftwind and then, you know, so I'm just saying. Anyway, because he's very rainbow.
Oh, what are Swiftwind's gender dynamics going to be? Are we gonna have an episode where Swiftwind gets busy?
I don't know.
Come on,
but he's got a horn. So I was gonna see someone said
what?
Let me talk for a minute. Someone said, and I agree with them. They said they have a feeling that the two dads are gonna be very stereotyped, and that's what I think. Because it seems like diversity. These people are stereotypes. And they were going about campy She-Ra, and I'm betting one of these dads is campy. I'm betting.
Oh, because
you know, if you're gay, that means a certain thing.
Why does it have to? I've known lots of gay folks who, you know, you wouldn't know. They don't act like quote unquote gay. Like, that's not like, I didn't know you were. I don't know. Whatever. Let's just.
Yeah, I mean, they don't fit the. God, don't you hate it when people don't live up to their stereotypes?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Jesse, and my head hurts. Yes. Me too, and your wallet is hurting too, Jesse. You don't have to keep throwing money at us, but
Jesse might be drunk. He's just gonna wake up tomorrow and be like, "How did I spend $600 in a live stream?"
Well,
and meanwhile,
I'm worth it.
And Geeku goes out and buys a $600 pair of boots.
That's right. I'll wear it when I do the reviews.
So yeah, I don't think that they're gonna use a lot of Masters of the Universe lore. This could be a good thing or a bad thing. I think for He-Man fans, they're probably, because I know a lot of people were concerned how they would treat He-Man, who is sort of a symbol of masculinity, how they would treat him on a show like this, and the answer seems to be they're not going to go there. So they're pulling a fairly odd parents, and one of the dads gave birth like Cosmo did.
Yeah, because he did. It was.
I don't know. Who knows?
Well, I'm sure they'll explain it.
So they're rolling out, you know, and again, just to come back to the point here, like, okay, cool. I want to hear about how awesome the show is and sell me on this show as a fan of old school.
No, you're not. You're wrong. You like old school. It's like someone has like a drink in their hand and someone's slapping it out. You're wrong.
You're wrong.
You're wrong.
Jesse, and I can't afford super chats because I stopped drinking.
I'm going to start.
All right. Yeah, Geeky's going to start. So every one of these articles, again, it's all kind of same thing. And we saw this with High Guardian Spice too, where they're pushing, the message versus the show.
Kickstarter type video about diversity.
Yeah, but this is each one of these articles hits a different. You see what I'm saying? Like whoever the PR firm is behind this, they're hitting a certain beat. You know,
they're hitting something.
Hey guys, look how we got two dads. Hey guys, we're gonna have best friends, and Bo is gonna be completely emasculated. Hey guys, this show is gonna be better than Moebius.
He's not emasculated. They're teaching little boys how to be emasculated. So that's what they're teaching.
Yeah, and they're saying it. They're basically coming out and saying like, this is a different kind of role model for kids who need to learn.
All boys just are misogynists waiting to happen. And
you have to be all boys have to be taught not to hate.
That's right, because they're all born that way, and they just especially straight white ones. We gotta stop them young.
That's right, because we're all like, it's like pre-crime, right? It's just waiting to happen one of these days.
Don't worry, this one season of She-Ra that it'll get is gonna fix your kids, everybody.
One season. No, they already greenlit for a second season, but here's the thing with Netflix, like, their seasons are like 6 to 8 episodes.
Right.
So like Voltron's on like season 7, but it's actually like 2 or 3 actual seasons.
Well, what they do a lot of times too is they had an episode order of this many shows, and then they say, oh, we ordered a second season, and they're just splitting the episode order in half. It's like those episodes have already been greenlit, but they're making the announcement to be like, yeah, look at how much confidence we have in this. You should totally watch it. It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
It's gonna have genocide.
That's right. That's right.
So I don't even know where to go with this. I mean, it's it's just interesting to see, like, I mean, we'll watch it if it's good. We said before, if it's good, we'll say it's good.
But it's again, we learned from these articles, it's all about the children. It's all for the children.
I haven't heard anything about the kids.
It's all about they're talking about. Remember that anybody doesn't like it. It's not for you. It's for kids. It's not for you. It's for younger generation, for kids. But I'm not seeing any of these articles where it's about the kids. Are you?
No, it's not talking about any themes that, like, I mean, it does kind of seem that way when it's like, it's about friendship and it's about wonderful relationships and your bestie squad and woo, that seems like very like geared towards kids. That seems like very like Doc McStuffins kind of,
it is, but,
type stuff. But then you're like, and we're gonna touch on,
yeah, we're smoke screening it. We're gonna say it's best friend squad.
Here's the truth.
We have an allegory for the Japanese internment in our show.
Oh my god. I'm gonna be honest, like, you look at the new crop cartoons from Cartoon Network, especially, and I don't think they make the shows for kids. I don't think they make shows for kids anymore. I think they make shows for young adults who still want to be kids, or they had messed up childhoods and issues to work through.
Totally. Yeah, it's all for the Tumblr crowd.
Right. Low res boy. I was marginalized. You know what makes you more marginalized? Trying to guilt trip others into how marginalized you are.
Exactly.
I mean, because you look at these shows and they're very, like, I mean, they're not adult. We got My Little She-Ra, Boots Are Magic.
That's all right.
They're not like adult really in theme. I mean, they're almost very childlike, like immature in the emotional. You especially look at like Steven Universe, where it's a very kind of like, it's all group.
Do I have to?
And
do I have to look at
what I'm
Steven
saying? But it's obvious. It's almost like you were saying before. It's almost like these cartoons are for adults that are still working through their shitty childhoods, and that's what She-Ra. I honestly think that's what this show is for. And you even hear it from the showrunners, from the voice actors. You're hearing that, like, when I was a little kid, I had this issue and that issue, and
when I was beat up in middle school.
When I got beat up, so now I'm gonna make She-Ra awkward, and nobody wants awkward She-Ra.
I just feel like I really missed an opportunity to work through my childhood issues with Darkwing Duck.
Oh my god!
I feel like by focusing on just telling fun stories that that fit the character, I could have been dealing with my the drug fueled home that I grew up in. We could have had Drake running a meth house.
Oh my god! Wait, did that happen after you left the book with Quackerjack?
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Okay, so DC Titan, it got really dark. Boys raised by single moms taught not to grape.
See, he's definitely doing a whitest kids thing because of the grapist.
The grapist. Oh my god, yeah, Bo doesn't have any grapes in this one. So yeah, and that's a really interesting trend in cartoons, though. We're seeing these cartoons that are made for young adults. They're not really made for kids anymore. If kids watch them, that's okay.
I mean, that's fine. I'm only saying it because a argument they would say to you was, if you didn't like it because of this, that, or whatever, after you're told you're a bad person for being a bit against diversity, after you're told you're a bad person for body shaming, then you were the last one, or actually the most common one was, it's not for you, it's for the children.
Well, are these things made to make money anymore? Because by appealing to, like, I'm going to tell you right now, every artist, every writer, everybody who's ever been in an artist alley has a joke that is based in truth, and that joke is, one of my Tumblr fans came up. Guess what? They didn't buy anything. Because Tumblr fans don't have any money. Yes. That's a running gag. That's a running gag in Artist Alley. So they keep making these things to appeal to this crowd that doesn't have any money. And so I think you may have even done videos, Neon, on like how Steven Universe toys are like, they don't sell.
They don't sell.
There's nobody to buy them. The only thing that sells is like, like they sell some of the apparel so people can wear the shirt. But
You're getting some love in the comments. I don't think people realize. Yeah, Aaron wrote the Darkwing Duck comic for years for a couple of different publishers. So he helped with the reboot. There you go. People, another moderator.
Oh, thank you.
What? Wait, another moderator handled this. What other moderator? I'm no moderator. What's going on in my live chat here?
Maybe you can ask Jim Cummings to voice one of the Sheer characters in Clownfish TV riff tracks, the Sheer episodes. You know what? Jim is a really fun guy. I think he would bring a lot of and he ad libs like you would not believe. Like he is so quick. If he were to do something like that, if you've ever seen any of the Twisted Tunes panels where they get up there and they have like they have a script where they're gonna like do Star Wars, but they're assigned a bunch of different characters. Like he's done like Winnie the Pooh as Darth Vader and things like that, and he just ad libs like crazy.
Yeah, is this good? Yeah, I would love to meet him sometime. I really would. So this is interesting. Google. I thought Google had a walkout today because we're in the live chat and a couple people had a couple things that were held for review. I went to approve them and they said another moderator took care of whatever the issue was.
The question is that moderator wearing awesome boots?
Yeah.
And
that's true. And Scott Pickering says he doesn't want Jim to be blacklisted. Yeah, that's fair.
I was worried about that too when he said that. And my next question for this other moderator who apparently is around, do you have childhood issues that you're trying to work through?
Yeah, I don't know. Unless somebody flagged them, the
for what?
videos. I don't know. Or there's some.
Spondopia says Google did have a big walkout. So now
they did have a big walkout. So I didn't think anybody. So they have to be bots.
Anyway, what did they walk out for?
I think something about sexual harassment. I'm not sure what was going on. I don't know.
Against it, or they want more of it.
Well,
it depends on your work.
It depends on which office you're working at, I think. No, I think they're against it. I'm not sure the specifics, but I heard that Google was really understaffed today because they had a big walkout.
Because people are being harassed at
sexual
Google?
misconduct
I believe so,
issues. Yeah, when you're at a place like that, sexual misconduct is probably a bad thing. I hear the animation industry has a lot of that too. But when you work someplace like here, sexual misconduct's not a bad thing.
So anyway, no, to answer your question though about, this is kind of interesting about, you talked about like the Tumblr economy and with, we ran into this with webcomics too, where, there's a whole generation of, I can't even call them consumers. They're consumers in the regard that they consume media, but they're not used to paying
they
for
want free.
it. So you've got, they do. And you run into this with webcomics people, Tumblr people. And this is why you can have somebody who's got this like massive social media presence, but they're begging for money on the internet because they're not actually selling anything. They may have tens of thousands of people who like them, follow them, retweet them, but they're not actually buying anything. And this is kind of, I think, chipping away at comics, is we have so many people that are used to just comics being for free online, or whatever, whether legally or illegally. And, it's sort of chipping away at the industry because, oh my God, you have to pay for this stuff? No, nobody wants to do that. DCV Titan again, walk out for harassment and equity issues. Okay, well, then it's probably a bot. Did you, Mr. Sneck, did you guys watch Easy Peasy's video? Yes. I can't confirm any of that, though. There's a lot of gossip in that video. I have no idea. But no, Aaron, do you have thoughts on, because there is definite change, I think, with the audience now for this kind of stuff.
Well, you're definitely right about the Tumblr economy and the way that they view things and the way that they consume things is that it should all be free. I've had people at my table at shows actually tell me why would they buy the book for me when they can go find it for free online. Or that they'll have to check it out online.
Well, that's the problem. There's the problem is everybody's getting it for free and getting scans and things, and that's a problem. Hi, Pete. Is it live?
And as much as we want to talk about the challenges facing the comic book industry and the things that's driving sales down, I think that just as much to blame as if not more. The way that customers are being treated is the fact that all of these things are being pirated online and nobody is doing anything about it.
Well, yeah,
nobody is hitting these people with cease and desists. Nobody is shutting down these sites that just do this every week. So yeah, why would you pay for it? If you're one of the generation that grew up after Napster and things like that, where you're like, no, media is free.
Yeah. Yeah, or low cost. DCV Titan, not enough representation and management. I don't know. I just knew they had a walkout. So someone that mentioned, Leoko Major mentioned IO9. They're going to actually premiere on the 13th. She-Ra's coming to us sooner on the 13th. So she'll be coming sooner. There we go.
Oh, there's another one.
There's another glimmer. There's two glimmers. No, I don't know which one that is. Spinnerella? I don't know. I have no idea. Okay, so, but yeah, I think... and we ran into this with webcomics too, where it's weird because you have like the older school webcomics fans who grew up reading a lot of the early stuff, early 2000s stuff. They've got jobs in tech, a lot of them, and then they threw money at creators. But then you had the folks that came later, and they just expected people to crank out endless work for free. And we kind of ran into that with our comic. I mean, we were at one point, we had like $1 million a month, and if we, God forbid, we stopped giving people free pages, they completely would freak out.
They would.
And I would actually get angry. Like, I wasn't trying to be a dick, because we had so many people that are so grateful, that we were putting the comic out there, but we also had some people that were just really, really demanding, and were like, oh my God, like, you guys are like so lazy. You're like not putting your comic out here fast enough. And I'm like, do you realize that like every page of that damn comic is like 10 to 12 hours of work that I'm not getting paid for, that I could be doing something else and getting paid, a lot more money for. And, it really does kind of, gnaw at you as well, I think. But that's just the expectation now.
Well, I mean, you could go to a company like Boom and do the same amount of work for about the same amount of pay.
I know, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, and that was it too. Like, that was it too. We had. So I said, Aaron, dude, live mic. Aaron's drinking. He's mixing his drink. He's stirring his martini.
What did I do on the mic? Is it just that I'm getting more raw, or it's like, am I making weird noises? Oh yeah, I was like going through the drawers of my desk.
I was like, what is that? Real quick, Lee Pete said, how are you feeling about the new She-Ra? Well, we just spent a long time talking about it.
I think the marketing has been a big fail. I mean, the show might be okay.
We'll wait and see. But right now, I'm not feeling too good.
Not feeling too good.
Let's see what happens.
I think this is a huge thing, and this is it. And this is what I did do the video on Steven Universe a couple days ago, not to dump on Steven Universe. Like I said, I have said repeatedly, I like Steven Universe for what it is. It is a unique show. It's its own thing. It's got its own audience. I sort of got bored with it, but I like the basic premise. But it doesn't sell toys. It doesn't sell merchandise. Its audience does not buy.
I think it's slow.
Toys.
I think that the show got slow.
It got very slow. It started out pretty decent, and then I'm like, nah, I'm bored. But I think we're going to run into this with She-Ra, where the original She-Ra was designed to sell toys. This one, a lot of these articles seem to make it very clear that they're not interested in selling toys. They don't want to sell toys at all.
No, they're interested in teaching your children how to be male or teaching your male children how to be allies.
That's right.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, they've said as much. I mean, it's not putting words in anyone's mouth. They basically have said that. So this is not a show that's going to sell toys. If they have toys of this She-Ra, I do not expect them to sell well. If Mattel actually is suicidal and wants to, put dolls out there.
Well, they're going to, apparently.
Supposedly, they're going to.
I'm sure there'll be action figures. They won't be dolls. And they will not have brushable hair. I'll bet you
they'll be in action figures, because violence is bad.
They'll be in action figures with non-brushable hair.
Non-brushable hair, that molded hair, because brushable hair is
it's problematic.
Girly, and it's
brushable hair is the patriarchy.
Right.
Except for Bo. Bo will have brushable hair.
That's right, because it'd be nice and soft too.
Yeah, be nice.
Like his hands.
Those are decorative arrows. He has never fired a bow in his freaking life. Like, he doesn't know how to, because that's bad. Yeah, but Steven Universe, the toys don't sell. They're on clearance. They've been sitting there for over a year, I think. And we found the little blind bag toys, which you think the audience would kind of be into that sort of thing. They're like little pop, like blind bags, and they weren't selling. They were clearing them out for like 75 cents a piece.
I saw a bunch of Funko Pops too at Steven Universe Funko Pops at the dollar store, and they were selling them for like $2.99.
That's
Wow.
weird.
Oh, Hordak, yeah, I agree. He better have brushable hair. I would buy Hordak. I don't care if it's even this She-Ra version. If he had brushable hair, I'd buy it.
Anna Matsuri asks, is Mattel also sponsoring this? That is really an interesting question because it feels like Mattel has distanced itself from this.
But according to her, in that one interview, she was saying that they were on board with it and they were, being so supportive and helpful.
I think.
Well, I'm sure that the old CEO was being supportive and helpful.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, this is the vibe I'm getting. I mean, I'm just speculating, but it does seem. I mean, the one, Aaron did go to PowerCon. There was nothing of new She-Ra there, which says a lot because Mattel has a huge presence there, don't they?
Yeah, they definitely did, and they even had. I mean, they even were selling like the old He-Man stuff that they had on their website. Mm-hmm. They had their own booth, and they were selling stuff that was selling for big money on eBay because you couldn't get it, and they were selling it super cheap. Like Lion-O goes for like $120. They did some Thundercats figures, and Lion-O goes for like $120 on the secondary market, and they were selling it there at its original retail of $35. So yeah, they definitely had a big presence, and they could have, they should have, and they showed off a ton of other toys that like, hey, maybe we'll do these She-Ra dolls that are based on the original show if there's interest. Here's the prototypes. Right. They were showing off stuff like that, but nothing for the new show. Not even like handouts of the show like coming,
which is weird. I mean, it's just weird. I'm not going to put words in the Mattel's mouth or whatever, but I mean, it's weird from a marketing perspective. It's really weird. And then what they did is they sort of had a panel, I think at FlameCon, which was like the week before, the week after, obviously feeling that FlameCon was going to be more receptive. But it tells me that they're sort of like, it seems like they were trying to like hide it from the old school fans. Cause I think they sort of knew how it was going to play to old school fans. They made this many changes to it. I mean, that's just the vibe I'm getting. And I do think that, you mentioned the management change. I do think that the CEO that greenlit this obviously is not the current CEO of Mattel. And it could have been that like they had to just kind of finish this thing up because, it'd already been, contracts were signed and whatever, we'll do it. But, we're not really feeling too good about it now. I don't know.
I'm sorry. I'm distracted by the photo that's up on the screen. Cause like, well, Bo's hugging her does not look like a, typical how a boy would hug a girl that's his friend. But beyond that,
is Glimmer
giving her a back rub at the same time?
Yes.
God, I hope so. This show's getting sexy.
They're her support staff. They're there to tend to her needs. They're her allies. Yes. So, yes, that's exactly what's going on. All of the fanfic, all the Rule 34 / you can dream up. It's going to be on Tumblr. Probably is on Tumblr now. If you would go out and search for it. There's a lot of sexy She-Ra art out there,
which is gross because they're supposed to be teenagers. The internet is gross.
Yeah, I know.
Oh wait, so you're not allowed to objectify She-Ra. You have to put her in these clothes because she was too problematic before. But you could take the new versions, the younger versions, and do that with them. It's like, come
on. There's no logical, there's no consistency to any of these arguments.
Yeah, so I don't know. They're her inner emotional support pets. Oh. Oh no. So I don't know.
I like Adora's hair.
I like her hair.
Well,
yeah.
She looks like a girl though. I mean, that's a plus.
She's kind of got the little pompadour going there.
Yeah, the little high fashion hair. It's kind of. I mean, it's very high fashion for a show that seems to want to like get her away from being feminine.
Well, if they're high fashion, why do they have such ugly boots? That's what I want to know.
So she's one venture brother as Adora, and she's the other venture brother.
She's
She-Ra.
She's Hank.
Yeah, is that what's going on here? Okay, so I don't know. I mean, look, I'll give this show a chance. It's clearly not for us at all.
But it's supposed to be for the kids. But it's for the children that they all forget about in every one of these articles.
Yeah.
I think it's for people who refer to themselves as woke.
Yeah. I think it's the people who list their pronouns on Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that seems to be it. The thing is though, I mean, wasn't there a study recently? I forgive me if I'm saying this wrong, but there was a study that's like only 7% of the country
It's 8%.
is on Twitter. Oh, 8% of the country is on Twitter, and not on that. And that's not everybody who's on Twitter is not engaged with Twitter. They're just on there. But it's like 8% of the country, and only 8% identify as these like kind of far left progressives.
Yeah, it's the 8%. Yes.
Yeah, there's it turned out that like the very, very far left, which Twitter has a higher concentration than normal, but like the vast majority of people are somewhere in the middle. And they call them the kind of the tired middle, or the fatigued middle, tired of all the fighting, and then you have like 25% that are like super conservative on the other end. So everybody's sort of on that spectrum, and what do they call them, like the big purple area or whatever, where they're kind of like the throbbing purple area. No, but that's no people actually actually like these political pundit types, they actually refer to it as like the purple, because they're not really red, they're not really blue. They're sort of like in between.
I mean, I have a lot of normal friends, and by normal I mean like people that are not in the comics or entertainment industry, and they're all very, issue by issue voters. They don't have a side necessarily,
right.
That they, they may identify with one, but they tend to look at things individually, and I feel like that's where the majority of the country is going. But it seems like all of the entertainment is being made for that 8%.
Yeah. And
I don't know. I don't know is that a viable business model?
No.
It doesn't seem to be for comics.
Exhaustive majority. Thank you.
And this is true too. It's 25% was when you combine the both, which is
both far right and conventional conservatives.
20%.
Okay, so really, what's going on here is you've got like two very extreme ends, sort of like going at each other. I think, but the thing is that you go, certain social media platforms, obviously like Twitter, the voices of the 8% are magnified, exponentially because of there being such a high concentration, or in comics, where the comics are published mostly in Portland, New York, LA, where there are a lot of really super progressive folks. So you're gonna with money, and you're gonna get this I guess perception that there are a lot more people leaning that way than there actually are.
Right, and your editorial pool, because it's drawn from those cities, is going to be made up of far left progressives.
Right. But then but you see how it plays to Middle America. You see with a lot of the choices.
Well, I just noticed with these articles. I mean, except for like maybe the New York Times, most of these articles are not articles in places that people that would have kids that's their quote unquote target demographic, that these parents are going to be reading to promote the show to the target demographic that is supposed to be the kids. But we all knew it wasn't. I'm just saying they're always like, it's not for you, it's for children. It's not for you, it's for the kids.
It's weird how this, how I don't know. I'm trying to figure out like how these meetings go, because they come up with these ideas, they green light these shows, these books, these whatever, and then you gotta I'd love to be a fly in the wall during one of these pitch meetings to see how it goes, because like, is anybody actually standing up and going like, well, how are potential consumers in Iowa gonna feel about this? How are people in like Wisconsin, or they is this movie gonna play in the Middle America? They don't care. It's like there is no Middle America. It's either New York or LA or Portland.
So they're just looking at like the heavy population centers and saying that it's enough. That's enough money for us.
Right. And clearly not, because everything seems to be falling off. So
yeah, not for comics, certainly.
Yeah. Okay, so any final thoughts, Aaron, Geeky, before we wrap things up?
Anybody in the chat have a liver they don't need? Because I think I've destroyed mine.
We totally should drink and then review these.
Oh my God. Yeah. I mean, I already know what we're going to get with this, and it's fine for its audience, but
someone said this looked like it was done in MS Paint. You mean that the ultra amazing animation that's so much better than the original?
You can't do Miyazaki quality animation in MS Paint. And that's clearly what this is evocative of.
Okay. Maybe Moebius.
Geeky Sparkles. Okay, what's the reason for your name? I don't know, because I like sparkly things and girly things. And I'm geek, so we decided Geeky Sparkles would be a good idea.
Okay.
How many people in the chat were happier when they couldn't hear me?
last time, Clownfish, you're dead if you aim only for kids. Adults are just kids only growing up anyway, and I do agree with that.
And Walt Disney did say this.
And Walt Disney, he knew his stuff, clearly. So, I don't know. I'm just I don't know. I just
well,
think
good art can be done in MS Paint, but I just think it's funny because they're like, you know, MS Paint's kind of like the joke. Usually when things are done in MS Paint, it's not the best.
No, it's not MS Paint.
And they're like, you know, oh, the original's so stiff and horribly animated and terrible. Unlike our new stuff, it looks like if you pause at different places, it looks like garbage. But whatever.
Yeah, it's
beautiful.
It was so weird though, because everybody was kind of busting on the transformation sequence, and then they were like talking about how horribly animated the original Filmation version was. I'm like, did you watch the transformation sequence in the original She-Ra? Because for a 1980s cartoon, it was really, really good.
Yeah, I like it. Anyway,
Splendopia, I want to apologize for getting too loud. I am not working with an expensive mic. I'm working with a cheap mic. And so I've noticed occasionally when I go back and I re-listen to these to make sure I didn't say anything that's going to completely destroy my career. Sometimes
dude,
I notice
you're already on the list.
I'm sure we are too.
Oh, I know. I've already gotten my night letter warning telling me that I'm out of the club. I got sent that for for daring to say that I thought that Marvel was justified in letting go of Chuck Wendig because of his online behavior.
How dare you?
How dare you?
I'm not going to say who, but I got a message from a pro telling me how disappointed they were that I had become a Comicsgate apologist.
I've gotten the concern. There was today. Okay, so Ethan Van Sciver actually somehow found one of my tweets and he retweeted it today, and I started getting the concern that people were trying to figure out, like what side I'm on. And
did you?
Yeah, they were like asking me very pointed questions, like they want to know which checkbox
let
to
them figure it out.
I don't care.
I also want to know about if our cats were afraid of cat. Yes, we have 5 cats, and a couple of them I think they're ninjas.
And they can form Voltron.
Yeah, we have 5. That's why.
With the help of Vaseline, duct tape, and maybe a staple gun, we can form Voltron with our cats.
Why does there have to be a side? Why? I don't think that either side is 100% in the right. I think there's been some things on the Comicsgate side that I've thought were questionable. And obviously I don't paint everybody with a broad brush. Not everybody who identifies as Comicsgate is responsible for the acts of a couple people that identify, that act out, that identify themselves as Comicsgate, any more than I feel like every pro is responsible for the bad behavior of the professionals. Like, I certainly don't put myself in a category with Chuck Wendig when he goes out and calls people, the things that he said. I'm not going to repeat them here.
Yeah.
You don't want poop off of boots.
Yeah, it's like, I would never.
He's obsessed with boots too.
So you know what? It all comes back around.
Yeah, it's a weird situation, and this has been going on for a while. I mean, how we kind of get into the whole situation was, people trying to figure out like what side I'm like, I don't know, a rational thought.
I'm on my side.
I'm on my own side, bitches. You figure it
out.
Yeah,
I'm taking things on a case by case basis and saying that everybody needs to treat each other with respect and try to come to some sort of middle ground.
Yeah,
I don't think that every complaint that's being lodged by Comicsgate is insane, and I don't think that every criticism being lodged against Comicsgate is out of line. I think that there's a back and forth.
You be in the middle. We tried that. Everybody hates you.
I know. Centrists are Nazis, right?
Everybody hates you when you're in the middle. We've learned this.
Yeah, it's I'd like to think that someday we're gonna have just comics again. Because remember, it was just comics. Just comics. It wasn't, nobody had to take a side. Just occasionally you'd have kind of the creepy eccentric creator out there that everybody kind of talked in hushed tones about, but nobody felt like they had to take sides or label anybody else. It's weird. It's just a weird time.
I didn't get into comics to join a weird cult and to believe everything that that I'm told that I need to believe, and I just want to tell entertaining stories.
Yeah.
That's all I've ever wanted to do.
Well,
and
secondary.
I think that comics has completely moved away from that being the primary focus of the medium, because Trump, and everybody's still upset from the election 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And it's still and that has to just be relitigated every month in your favorite comics. And it's like, no, we're gonna relitigate that in a week or so at the midterms, and we'll see how that goes. So that's where we do it. So just give people their comics that are their pure escapism, because damn it, apparently we need it.
Yeah.
I was looking at this. He said, "I'm probably labeled a Nazi because I'm in the middle." Yeah, we actually got you actually got called alt-right because we were in the middle.
I've been called alt-right. I said that, people said that I was dog whistling for the alt-right, and that's what pulled me into this whole thing to begin with. Like, I wouldn't have even looked into it that much if people hadn't applied the label to me to begin with. So you're actually making your own enemies. It's like, stop it.
No, Neostar makes a good point. Neostar just said, after a while, I pretty much had no choice but to join Comicsgate. The pros had completely stopped caring about making entertaining stories and characters and just wanted to write propaganda. And I actually said this to the person who sent me my little night letter, is I said, you're upset about Comicsgate, but you are literally driving people there.
Yes.
You're getting them, you're putting them in the car, you're driving them to Comicsgate, and you're pushing them out and telling them to F off.
Yeah.
That's what you're doing with your behavior.
I would not disagree with that, and that's my stance on it. Is like, the comic book industry created the situation, and that's not gaslighting, that's not victim blaming. The comic book industry created this situation, and they keep throwing kerosene on the fire daily. They throw kerosene on the fire.
Oh, we're not getting as much attention today. Hurry up! Throw some stuff
hurry
on
up!
there.
Do something else stupid.
Burn something. Burn something.
Yeah, it's Wade's asking for money for this lawsuit, but it's like, you created diversity in comics. He would be like a guy hovering around 30,000 subscriptions talking about comics and coughing into his phone if you hadn't gone to war with him on Twitter. If you had just been able to just let it go and ignore it and ignore the criticism, but you couldn't, and you've blown him up, and you handed him $400,000. You handed this guy that you hate $400,000 in sales. You handed him, an even bigger platform, and then you were so upset about that, you tried to interfere with a contract, which, I'm not a lawyer, but I could have told you was illegal. If I would have seen him posting that message before everything had gone down, I would have sent Wade a message and said, "You realize this is illegal, right?"
No.
I think he knew. He just didn't care. I
don't think he knew.
I think he thinks he's above it.
No, I don't think he knew. I don't think
Really?
because
he did not know that would be,
because remember he didn't. One of the reasons that he said that, even though he knew about Eddie Berganza being a serial sexual harasser and he didn't come out before it was all revealed and before it was safe to do so, was because he would have been, then it would have been actionable and he would have been able to be sued. So I honestly believe, since he could, since this champion of and he's someone who champions women, he didn't come out against Eddie Berganza because of the potential litigation. So I don't think that, if we just use that as a baseline of his behavior, I don't think that he would have done this if he thought that there were legal ramifications and that he could be sued for it.
Yeah, I think he thought he was just being a good guy and warning a publisher not to get in bed with someone who...
Really? Because I can't think... I mean, I'm not a lawyer, and I know that's illegal, and that's stupid.
Comic book people don't really have a grasp of the real world outside of comics.
I mean, look at the way that so many people have analyzed the legal situation, talking about how, Richard Meyer doesn't have a case because thus and so, and they don't know the law. They know nothing about it. Like, they say things that are just absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know, but he just, I think I
just think he thought he could do whatever, and he has the money that he thought he had the money that he'd be able to do it. Just like that, if that's true about the comic shop. Basically, they were flat out told he can hold out in court longer than you, so neener.
If that is what, I mean,
that's true.
That's the thing. If that,
so I think he.
I mean, he's claiming here that he never was in business with an African American woman. But
I think he was in business with her husband or her boyfriend.
Yeah, so he's
right. So it's sort of a lie by omission.
Yeah, it's a deliberate obfuscation of that.
But yeah, and apparently what she was told was he had the money to just stall her out, and that seems to be the tactic he wanted to use with diversity in comics, was just run him out of money, and that's not going to work.
Someone's talking about good comics on Webtoons. Hey, Shadowbinders is on Webtoons. I'm just saying, check out Shadowbinders. Hey, I'm gonna have to go. You guys keep talking. I have to go, so I'll catch you guys later. I'll see you later, Aaron. Tom's gonna be here. I got to
get going too, but I gotta go get my boots polished.
Oh, yeah.
I gotta polish my boots. Okay.
I've got to go participate in a genocide, Bonnie.
Oh my God. Okay, so I guess we'll wrap this one up. So that's what's going on with She-Ra and the Mark Waid situation. We'll be watching it. I think the kind of the soul of the comic book industry is kind of at stake here. Because if my own personal feeling is if this. If Mark wins, then that sort of lays the groundwork for, publishers being able to sue people they don't like, keep people they don't like out of the industry on a whole nother level. And that's terrifying, because I'm like, what where do you, who gets to decide who gets to be in comics and who doesn't get to be in comics, you know?
Well, I mean, even so, I don't think that would certainly, I think that would be a huge blow to the mainstream comic book industry.
Yeah.
I think that will only help Comicsgate and people who are doing it outside, you know, and building an audience outside of the mainstream comic book industry. Because I think that if that sort of behavior is allowed to continue, if that sort of gatekeeping and that sort of vitriol is allowed to continue, it's just going to drive more and more people towards Comicsgate, which, you know, is not what the mainstream industry wants, but it seems to be what they're really effective at doing.
Yeah, it seems like everything they do, it completely blows up in their faces. Again, you know, like you said, and we'd said before that, like, you know, Comicsgate would not have blown up had the comic book industry not been so hell-bent on trying to destroy it completely. You know, it had not worked. It kind of reminds me of The Matrix, right? The Matrix, where the machines let the humans have Zion, you know, and they were sort of like quarantined, you know, in Zion, because if they tried to exterminate them completely, everything went to hell in a handbasket. And that's kind of what this reminds me of. Like, if you just let these people just kind of go rant in a corner, you know, let them have their say and whatever, and just kind of left them alone, it would not have blown up, you know, like it has.
Yeah, it's if people had just been able to rise above and, you know, and not feed people that they perceived as trolls, you know, yeah, I know it's hard, and I know it's satisfying sometimes to, you know, when you feel like somebody's coming at you to, you know, slap them down, you know, there's that satisfying feeling, especially on social media, because on social media there's no danger that you're going to get punched in the teeth for what you say. You know, so people tend to have pretty big balls on social media that they don't have in real life. You know, so they just say whatever they want to say, but, you know, it has consequences, and that consequence has been Comicsgate. So for everybody screaming about, you know, Comicsgate every day on their Twitter, everybody that's doing that, you're just feeding the beast that you don't like.
Yeah, it's so weird. They don't see it that way. It's like you made this happen, you know. It's like you did. This isn't victim blaming. It's you made this happen. Jesse, holy shit, DNC is over 100K on his GoFundMe. That's okay. Cool.
Yeah, I think even with the 10,000 that was lost that we were discussing earlier.
Yeah.
Maybe it's back. I don't know. I haven't followed it that closely.
Let me see here. Yep, it's back. There you go. Okay. So we're gonna wrap this one up. Thank you, Aaron, so much for coming on. Do you want to tell people where to find you if they want to find you on social media? Yeah,
if you want to find me, I'm Aaron Sparrow on Twitter. Actually, it might be Aaron_Sparrow. I'm on Instagram, and I have my own little channel on YouTube called Dapper Dragon Media, where I just mostly do toy reviews. I haven't updated it recently, but I will be getting back into that. So yeah, come and chat with me.
Awesome. Yeah, so please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We have a Discord. If you haven't been out to our Discord yet, look in the show description. We do pop in from time to time. We got about 300 people. I think we got about 300 people over there, and I can't follow the conversations. I'm sorry. I jump in every once in a while. I'm like, it's just a bunch of memes. But you're more than welcome to join it if you would like. And yeah, you can find us on Twitter, and Geeky is Desert Star 57 on Twitter. I am Neon on Twitter. And, we do tweet occasionally, not as much as we used to, obviously, because it's Twitter. But, yeah, thank you again, Aaron, for coming on. Thank you, everybody, for watching. We had about 350 people at one point, so everybody likes to bust on She-Ra. That brings them in. So, all right, any final words, Aaron?
No, just thanks for listening, everybody. We hope that we entertained.
All right. Good night, everybody.